All right, sir.
All right, Freddie.
Drink some of my Cocoa Pops.
Oh, I'm excited for this. I want to know what you're doing now because I don't even know.
Really?
Yeah, not really. I mean, I know that you have a trucking outfit.
Yeah, trucking outfit. I started some group homes. Doing a little bit of I invested in some basketball clubs.
Yeah.
Real estate.
Awesome.
So kind of doing a little of everything. Didn't stop. Training kids. What else we doing? Group homes, autistic kids with autism.
Yep.
Can't even talk right now.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's freaking
So
awesome.
learning behaviors and all that good stuff.
So you're still investing in other people's businesses then?
I just started that again this year.
Really?
So yeah, before that it was all when you and I talk about. It's been about 7 years ago.
Yeah.
It's been some time now, huh?
Yep.
Yeah.
Was it? 2012. But when did you have me buy you? Well, here, let's tell the story about that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so how I met you were a customer at Blissful, and you came through. I knew you were a boxer, right? I knew that you were boxing. I knew that you'd come through every day for a while, and then you'd disappear. I do clearly remember there was a handful of girls that worked for me that would have a panic attack every time you rolled up because they thought you were so fine.
Back in the day.
Oh. So is that all you were doing back then? You were
No, it
investing in
wasn't.
other businesses then.
Yes, so I had it was JPR service. So when you wouldn't see me for a while, I would leave and go to Williston, North Dakota. So I would work. So we had dump trucks, flatbeds. We had belly dumps, side dumps, and pup and truck. So we was building pads and rehabbing roads for the oil rigs.
Yeah.
So I was doing that for a while. So you'll see me, I'll be gone for like 3 weeks, sometimes a month. Then you'll see me heavily for about 2 weeks.
Yep.
So that's when I actually came in your parking lot with a big truck. I don't think you was there.
Nope.
Yeah.
I wasn't there. So like I had Blissful one, like my only one, and it didn't make very much money. Like, honestly, it was like a part-time job at the time.
Yeah.
The coffee culture wasn't a thing, really. It was just kind of catching on. And I tried to open up another one in Idaho, and it just was kind of the same thing. Like, I probably was going to make like a little bit of money running it, but like I had to work it if I was really going to make it work.
Yeah.
And I was like, so I sold this thing, right? And then I saw that the lingerie stands had started in town.
Yeah.
And I started asking everybody to go into business with me. And, people were like, yeah, they were interested and like they'd listen or whatever, but like nobody bit, And then I remember it was on a weekend, so I wasn't even working. And I came into the coffee stand and I was like all messy bun and like in my sweats and whatever. And I saw that you were there and I was like, hey, Freddie, like, cause I hadn't seen you for a while,
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, do you want to go into business with me? And you were like, well, what is it? And so I told you, and you were like, well, write me up a business plan. And I was like, fuck, are you serious? Like, I don't know how to write a business plan. And I was like, okay, all right, I'll do it. Like, I got this, And I acted like I got my shit together.
Oh, quick.
But and I did get it together quick. But it taught me, I learned so much. Like, that was like writing that business plan. I realized why my first venture didn't work out. And ever since then, I was like great at picking spots. So I knew that, say like I call them the titty stands, for lack of a better term. Those were going to be always in a good location, or what would seem like a good location, but maybe say the wrong side of morning traffic, like because it's more of a destination spot. So I figured people will take the time to cross traffic to come into these locations.
Oh, yeah.
So. Okay, so now you tell me
My side.
your side.
So I thought when I heard your story, that's the first thing, because you'll tell me like bits and pieces. Then we had the opportunity to sit down and talk.
Yeah.
And I was just all like into it because I believe experience was intriguing to me because I knew you didn't want to fail. I know you was going to succeed no matter what you did. So when you brung that up to me, I was like, wow. I really want to be a part of a coffee stand, especially with a person that's not going to ever give up, So when you gave me that business plan, I was like, damn, this is our first one? It was laid out, and I was like, I'm all in. I was all in. And then how happy you was and how, you wasn't a bitch, but you was direct.
Sure? Okay.
You was direct.
I'm like, are you sure?
You wanted your shit done. I liked it that. And I was like, this is going to succeed. She's going to be very successful. I'm going to be in this, And I knew what I was doing. I was doing too much because I was kind of investing in everything at that time.
Yep.
But the coffee stands and your attitude and the way I looked at you presented it to me, I was like, I got to do this.
Yep.
And I just loved your story because anyone that can come from and go through what you've been through and be able to conduct business the way you conducted, I was like, this is a blessing to even run into you. Because I was just watching you every day. I come to the stand. She's cool as shit. You got a kid in his hand, this arm sometime. And then you still making like the best fucking coffee. So I'm like, oh, look at this coffee. She's making the coffee. Then you coming back and you talking about business with the kid in his arm the next time. I'm like, oh, okay. I do business with you. Nothing stopped you from being successful. So yeah, I looked at it as a big opportunity.
Yeah, well, and what a big opportunity though to meet you because you kind of had like a past. I would say similar,
Yeah.
And so maybe that was why you were able to see that in me,
Yeah, that was a big thing for me too because I know like we can't work at normal jobs, so I knew I wasn't going to be able to work at and I didn't want to because people are going to judge you. They're going to think, okay, are they going to relapse? Or are they going to go back? Are they bad people? So we had no choice but to be successful. So I knew working with you, it wasn't going to be any bullshit.
Yep.
Because I'm not going to work for Curtis Blow. I'm not going to ever be an employee again. I'm going to be an employer. So I knew it was a huge opportunity. I wasn't going backwards.
Yep.
Yep. So it was good, man. I was blessed.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, and I was looking at your face, and little did you know, I was like a kid in the candy store, like, oh shit, coffee stands.
But then too, like, so how we did it was so fun and funny and kind of spoke to like even our past almost because it was more like a handshake, keeping track of like how much cash you gave me like on the iPad.
Yeah.
You would so the way that you negotiated with that chick and I thought you were going to lose our deal. I was so pissed. I was like, what are you doing? What? And you freaking landed that deal for like 2/3 off the asking price. She was asking like 30 grand and we got it for 12.
Yeah.
Like how did you know that she was going to go that low?
Well, when you told me about it and we met her at the stand, I went to the stand and I was just kind of like just analyzing her, how she moved. I had a chance to see her outside of the stand, so I knew she was money hungry. We wasn't going to keep the name, and we didn't need everything that she was presenting at that price. So I know if we came at her with a cash deal, and at that time, like coffee stands wasn't as big as they are now, so I knew she had it on the market, and no one was biting, and she just wanted some money.
Yep.
And you can just look at her. So I was like, you know what? If we get up in here and land it there, and you was over there nervous when we was in the meeting, I can look at your face. She was like, what the fuck are you doing, Freddie? And I'm like, just chill out. Got this.
Yep.
And you let me have it. The smile on your face when she accepted. He was like, how the hell you knew? I was like, I knew she was going to take it.
Yeah.
Because I was ready to just walk out of the room, and we had cash. So we went to the bank and got cash. So it wasn't like looking at a check. She seen that cash, and she was just like, I'll take it.
Honestly, I wish that you would have been at some more of my deals because I'm the type that's like, okay, I'm buying this thing on contract or something like that. I'll just give them what they want, because I know that I can make it what it's going to be, Yeah. But I really could use some good negotiating skills.
Well, to me, it's always like, I'm never going to pay what you want for it.
Yeah.
Ever. I've never have and I never will.
Yep.
Everything that I bought, from a car to a building, houses, I'm never going to pay. Even in the house market right now, where it's so crazy, I'm never going to pay what they ask for. It's always a way of negotiating to get around it.
Yep.
Even if you like come friendly, or you can just fill out strategic ways of how this person thinks, or what they really trying to sell it for, how their money's doing, their attitudes. There's so many things, so many different variables when it comes down to negotiating.
Well, and how much do you think of that comes from like knowing people from your past, right? Because I feel like I got a knack for pointing certain people out or kind of knowing where people are coming from just because you had to read people when you came from the streets, really.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, coming from the streets, man, is a whole different animal. Everybody's trying to play you.
Yep.
So they have motives, ulterior motives. So when you look at these people, you're reading them, and you're reading like, okay, what does this person want from me? What do I have to offer them? And then you kind of come out of body. Like, you got to come out, okay, what would I want from myself?
Yep.
Like, how would I treat myself? So when you come to that conclusion, you can really handle how someone come at you and how they present themselves. And then you can come up to like, well, you know what? This is bullshit, so I'm still going to be nice, but I'm going to get myself out of this as quick as I can.
Yep.
You know, and that's just from being from the streets, because there's some people out here that just don't want to be nothing. They just want to get whatever you got to give them.
Yep.
You know, you got to be very careful for that. You know,
Yep.
surround yourself around good people, and I think you and I have done a phenomenal job of doing that.
Yeah.
Because we was around bad people.
I know.
And bad people, even though I didn't do nothing, but since I'm around them, I did it all.
Yep. Yeah.
You know?
Or like association is
Yeah.
everything. You know, I know people that are doing so much time just for being in the vicinity
Yeah.
of something bad going down, you know? So we're freaking lucky.
Very lucky, man.
We're freaking lucky.
I can remember all my trouble passes, and me is like, you sitting there, I'm a fighter, you
Yep.
know. Touching a gun to me is like, I don't need a gun. I really want to beat you up.
Yep.
Because that just shows my masculinity over yours.
Yep.
You know, if I shoot you, what is that going to show? Because anybody can shoot.
Yep.
You know, so I never was that type of guy, but, you know, it's a lot of pussies in this world
Yep.
that rather just shoot and fight. You know, so they don't have a big strong of, you know what, a man would talk this out. And if we can't talk this out, we'll go box this out.
Yep.
And then after we done box it out, I come from the old school where we will fight and go have a freaking beer.
Yep.
Hey, man, let's have a beer, man. Damn, he whooped my ass. Damn, he whooped my ass. Yeah, you got me. They look at my damn eye. No big deal. You can't do that no more. If you black somebody out there, you're going to get shot probably a week from now or the next day. Because no one can take an ass whipping no more.
That's unfortunate.
Very unfortunate.
You know, actually something else that we have in common that I thought was really interesting was how long we were willing to sit in county jail because we aren't going to take no shit.
Yeah.
Right? So I don't know anybody else who has sat that long in the county jail. Everybody's ready to sign off their frickin' everything just to get out and go to do their prison time.
Yeah.
Even if they're offered 10 years or whatever. And I mean, they were trying to offer me just like 7 or 8 or something. And it was Idaho that was holding me up. And I was just like, no, I'm just not going to do that kind of time. Like, and if you saw my record, like, damn, I should have been doing that kind of time. But I was just like not willing to do it. So I sat in county for 8 months. And I know people like to this day that are just willing to sign, you know, take whatever they can just to get out. Like county breaks them. Like how long did you sit in county and how the hell did you not let it break you? I don't know how. I don't know what's different.
Well,
honestly, it shocks me that people are willing to sign away that many years of their life just to get out of there.
Yeah, because most of the people like that are truly, to me, in my opinion, are for real criminals. They live that life. They're like, okay, I'll just sign it on me, I'll get out. Yeah. And we're not criminals. Yeah. So it's like being able to put your mind somewhere else while you're in there. My mind was never in jail. And I sat in a hole for like 45 days. Yep. They had me in a fucking hole. And they come in there and I be singing and shit. And I was in there. And I'm in there with killers. Like I got 2 killers in there. I mean, I heard some weird stories. I was in there with the kid that killed his girlfriend's dad, stabbed him up, cut him up. Whoa. Then I was in there with another dude that killed the female from Hooters. This is the whole. We all in the corner. So to me, they telling me their whole fucking story. That's why a lot of these guys get in trouble. Yeah. They telling their whole story. I'm like, hey man, I wouldn't tell that to everybody because you still got to go to court.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah. But I'm in there with these guys, and they're just crying. And I know one of the guys, to say it like this, he was a fresh meat. He was gonna get it real bad in the penitentiary because he was in that 35 years or 40 years or something for what he did. Wow. And I was just able to put my mind somewhere else. I just sat there, and they came upstairs, and it was like, Freddie, we know you didn't do anything, but you won't help us solve our case. You're just as guilty as the guy that did it. And I just smiled at him. I'm like, okay, well, prove it, because I didn't do anything. And you know I didn't do nothing. So I wasn't going to, and I was angry. Yep. I was mad. Yep. So when I get mad, it's like, I'm not going to do shit you tell me to do. So it don't matter what you offer me. I'm not taking nothing. Yep. I'm going to wait this thing on out, and we're going to go to trial. That was already in my mind. So if I had to sit in there for a year, 2, 3 years, I didn't give a shit. Yep. I was going to sit right there before I let you get me. Yep. I wasn't going to let them get me. So the hole was tough. You know, you just got to make the best out of any situation. Even though you in there, my mind was never in there. Yeah. You know, my mind was reading books. I was thinking about being at the beach. I would be at the bar sometimes in my mind. I would do push-ups. Yep. I was never in that jailhouse because I knew I'm not a criminal. I know I'm not a bad guy. And I know once I get out of this shit, I am never coming back. Yep. You know, I already knew that in my mind, so I just had to go through it. Yep. You know? Yeah,
that's pretty relentless, honestly, because and I don't know if it is the same for you, but that kind of relentlessness kind of scares me about myself in some cases, because I'm like, I'm ready to take you all the way.
Yeah.
Like when I get that mad, like I'm going to take it all the way. And I don't know if I'm going to win all the time, but damn sure I'm going to put up a fight. You know what I mean? So I don't know if I'm going to take myself out. And I don't usually get in that position anymore.
Yeah.
But I remember this one time when this company sold me you were around, I think, when I was doing like, I think you were around, when I bought all those super automatic machines. And they were just problem after problem after problem.
Yes, you told me about them, yeah.
I was so pissed. I was spending like tens of thousands of dollars on repairs and maintenance that just didn't need to happen. And this company basically had me by the balls because they sold me the machines. They were the only ones that could work on them. They were the only ones that had parts because they were just refurbishing parts. But they were coming in like duct tape and stuff and zip tie and shit. And the machines never worked right. And I just got so pissed. And finally I was like, listen, you're going to replace these. And like, that's it. And so I sent them a letter, like a demand letter for money, and they settled with me. Like I didn't have to take them to court because they sold me these machines. They were Starbucks machines. They were supposed to trash them and they didn't. They sold them on the side. Right. So I did have something in my corner, but I remember them fighting me. And I remember Mike having to pull the guy aside and he was like, man, she's not going to let this go. So just give her what she wants and let it go. Because I was so ready to take them all the way to court. And going to court is going to...
It takes some money.
It takes some money.
Yes.
And so it probably would have tanked me. And I got just enough money to put a down payment on all of the machines I needed to replace. So, yeah, it was a good chunk. But I get that was enough. That's all I wanted. I just wanted an in. I just wanted a way out of these machines. Like I wasn't trying to like take them for everything. I'm fair. I thought that what I was asking for was fair. And so when they were still fighting me for this piece here and that piece there, I'm like, these are parts machines for you. Like you're going to hassle me over a couple of parts. Like do you ever get into a situation where you feel like you might take yourself out over some dumb shit?
Yeah, but that fight in you though, I mean, just to have that fight in you, to me, that no mercy for failure, that's what makes you successful because you're willing to fight, but you're also willing to make strategic decisions so you don't have to be in a situation where you have to fight.
Yeah.
So even you had to fight that one, I bet you told yourself, I'm not getting this
Never
shit again.
again.
You know? So you got to do that. You got to do that, and then you're like, I'm never going to go through this again, and you won't. So you will research and do more to make sure that you won't get in that situation. So yeah, I fight. I don't give a shit.
Yep.
I will fight. I've had to fight when I told you about my marijuana farms that I own in Medford.
No, actually, I don't remember.
Yeah, so this was my business partner after you. We bought like 10 acres in Medford, Oregon, and we started this big old grow ops. I mean, it was huge, and we had some other partners. So it was all three of us. It was a couple, me and his name was Marcus, and we was doing wax, shatter, greenhouse. We did indoor. We had all the flavors. Wow. And it was going pretty good. We had all the license to do it all. But, when a lot of money comes.
Yep. People get shady.
It get really shady. So, to me, Marcus didn't want to fight. Yeah, I'm fighting. Yep. These folks wouldn't even be in this situation if we didn't invest our money into it. So that took me out of the weed thing, but I had to fight. And we got like 98% of what we was owed. Oh, good. But imagine if we didn't fight, because he didn't want to fight.
Yeah.
We wouldn't have got that return back.
Yeah.
But it just teaches you how people are. I mean, everybody want to invest in you. That's why it's hard to find investors. Everybody want to be invested or want investors, but when the money start coming, they figure out ways like, well, they're not doing anything.
Yep.
I ain't doing all the work.
Yep.
So you wouldn't be doing the work if you didn't get that funding to help you get to that point.
Yep.
So that's what the situation became.
I remember thinking like that before we made our deal, but once you make the deal's done. You know what I mean? So people just need to accept that's the deal you made.
Well, what it is, most folks don't know how business work. They don't know business, so they come into it like, I just need investors. But then when they get the investors, it's like, well, I didn't need these investors. Well, if you didn't need them, you would have never got them.
Yep.
But investors are really good. If the deal's worked out good, it really teaches a lot because investors are going to fight with you because that's an investment. They got skin in the game.
Yep.
But, I have a lot of folks all the time asking me to invest in them, and I'm like, I don't pull the trigger as fast because most folks don't know how to run business. They don't understand that when your first business, you have to put all of your time in it. Your investment is your elbow grease. Yep. So you're really in there, and I don't think most folks don't understand how hard it can be and how taxing it can be on you to get where you want to go. So now I'm like, I don't think you really understand how much work. Because I'm gonna give you this. If I was to invest in you, I'm gonna give you a check, and then after that, my job is pretty much done.
Yeah, I've heard a million times over that you're actually not investing in a business, you're investing in the person.
Yep.
And these are things that I hear after you, right? So I didn't even come to like appreciate you as much as I needed to until well after our business deal was over.
Yeah.
You know, because how many years was it after we got into business that you wanted to be bought out? I remember you wanted me to do it for at least 6 months before I did. Because in my mind, I was like, but I can take 20, at the time I could take 20 grand.
Yeah.
And I could buy another business. Now that will get me nowhere. You know what I mean? But at that time it was like, well, what if I find another deal? You know? And then I could make this, because at that time it was going to free up, 25% of that income, where I was like, but then I can go over here and make 100% of this income. Yeah. So I can't even remember how long it took. But it was a good thing. I ended up negotiating with Nikki too. And so I bought you guys both out at the same time. And I just kind of split that down the middle, and I felt good about that.
Yeah, I knew you was off to the races, and I told you about my ideas, what I was doing. I really wanted to go mainstream with trucking, with the reefer department, the flatbed department, the van department, and the hot shot. Yeah. So I wanted to take my focus off of that and really get it. And I thought, this is you. This is your bread and butter. You're made to do this shit. And I'm made for trucking. I'm made for other things. So and you gotta look at your mind space. Like, most folks don't understand that in business, you really don't have time to think about a lot of other shit. Yep. So if you really stuck on this, you forget about the regular shit of everyday living because your mind is so stuck on business. So that was a big issue for me back in the day, because I used to have my mind everywhere, so I spread myself thin, and I wasn't really utilizing my ability to really execute certain deals because I spread myself so thin. Yep. So like selling some of the stuff, I sold a lot of business I was a part of, even clubs I was a part of. I was a part of some script clubs down south. I had a lot of investments back then that I was just trying to get out of it, and do something different so I can stop my thinking on that,
And we went through some tough, because remember, it was like solid checks for a while. And then I couldn't remember if you were involved when that year that we made $0. Not even negative. It was quite literally zero. It was almost like the person running it had a P&L that they were working off of, is what it felt like. It was like, what the, because I didn't look at P&Ls every single month then, right? So I was running all of them by myself. No, I think that Stacy was involved by then, but we didn't have all of our systems in place, right? And so it was at the end of the year, and I realized, how did Northwest make nothing? Nothing. What was that? And I don't remember because I would pay us when I shouldn't have, I remember. So I don't remember, was there checks that we, when I didn't write a check some months? I don't even remember. Or were they less or something? Or how did I pay us during that year that we made nothing? I don't remember.
You was always consistent with the amount every single month.
Yep. It was really consistent.
Yeah. My accountant was like, oh, everything's coming in good.
Yep.
So I didn't really, you did good. I don't care. I know everything's like this. And that's the thing about business. If you don't know it, you wouldn't understand it. So some days, some months will be different, but you're just pretty much here, and it probably dip a little here.
Well, Northwest was actually usually very consistent on the gross, right? And so if I ran it right, then obviously I figured that it would balance itself out. But when I did some research, and I thank God for this kind of stuff, because then I have things in place, right, where we have control numbers for payroll. So every time payroll comes in, we have control numbers. So if it's over, we're like, why is this over? Where then it was I went back 6 months on the payroll, and I could see that there was overlap where there shouldn't be overlap, and I could see where it was going, and I was like, ooh, you slick. I was this is
they get creative.
The cost of goods was real high.
Yes.
And so I don't know what exactly was happening there, but I could imagine what was happening there. So it was, I just thank God I kind of caught it, I guess, when I did, but man, I wish I could have caught it sooner.
Yeah, thieves get really creative.
Very.
I've seen some thieves where they will overpay bills.
Yeah.
and then get the reimbursement check in their name.
Oh.
Yeah, I've seen some creative thinking thieves.
I've heard of some stuff.
Yeah, I've and experienced that a few times where you're writing a check to pay the bills, so it's no biggie. You just pay the bills, the regular bills in the building, and they're overpaying them on purpose, and you're not really going through all that. That's their job to make sure these are paid, and then you look back and it's like, hold up.
Why is the electricity bill $2,000?
And then these reimbursement checks are coming back in their name.
Wow.
And they're actually cashing them. So that's a new, that was new to me. Mm-hmm. You know, and I don't know if that, you might not about to give you an idea, like, hold up, I better check
my
bill payment, you know. So, yeah, you might want to look at them and see if they're all accurate, because if they overpay them, but they're going to write the check back, and if they go, well, who did I get this back to? Well, yeah, put it in my name. Yep. And some of these folks, they're busy, they're employees. You know, this generation is freaking lazy, and they just do what you say do, and they don't even do no research because that requires extra work. And the next thing you know, all of your reimbursement checks is going to the lady that's writing the check for the bill out of your accounts.
Well, and now there's Venmo and Cash App. Yes. I'm not trying to give anybody any ideas, but like, because we watch all this stuff now, right? So anytime I hear of some new way, so how easy would that be? Because, you know, you got cameras or whatever to like take somebody's card and like pretend like you run it or something, but then they Cash App you or Venmo you because they're your friend. The money for the, man, there's still like, you know, one, because I have business owner friends, right? So we're always talking about these new ways, gift cards, you know, taking a tip on a gift card, like just so many things that we have to watch, you know, because there's consistencies, right? So as long as you know what is average or normal, even cash to credit card ratio, we can pick that apart really quick. And it changes because now there's less cash and more card than there ever was, right? So as time goes on, it's always less cash and more card, but you're looking for the consistencies. And I have 11 stores, so it's easy for me to see consistencies or when something's inconsistent. So that's really, really helpful.
Yeah, you got your hands tied because you...
Yeah, but we
do
numbers.
Some girls in everybody's selves.
Yep.
Yeah, and everybody's self, and they can get really creative. And sometimes the damage is done. Yep. It can take a little while to figure it out. So it's just like,
it does take a while.
You know, you need some integrity. Some of these girls don't have, you know, some people in general. Yeah. Integrity, transparency, so they don't really have none of that stuff. They go in there and they're like, okay, I found a way. Yep. And they go do it. I'm just going to do it one time. They say, you know, I did the shit 26 times. Yep. You know, and you're looking at couple 20, 30 grand that you lost from this employee. So it's difficult with theft these days with employees. So I know trucking, for me, that department is tough for any driver to steal from you. Yep. You know, but they can do other things to harm you if they're upset. Yep. Like get bad reviews or safety audits and all that good stuff. They can do that. But other than like taking cash from you, they can try to mess up a customer. But every customer is pretty seasoned with that shit. So trucking department, not a lot of thieves. So I like that blanket. But other than that, everything else, it's always an issue.
And trucking is your main thing, right?
That's the main thing, yeah. Trucking is the main thing. That's my main source.
Yeah.
Everything else is just a branch over there. That's the capital. And I just invest. Like I used to be every like a few months I invest in something different. Yep. Like try to get a house or a duplex or something I can just, you know, and that's the generation. Like I know my kid, I got 2 kids. You know that, Jamil and Jade. And to build generational stuff for them, I'm not more like them to run the building a business and give it to them. I will more like want them to take control of the house, the real estate, or the trucking or trust fund, or something that they can really learn how to do it. So it's tough to build something really big and look for your kids to run it. Yep. Because generation is just different. Like my son, I don't think he would want to sit in there. He wouldn't want to do what I do. Yep. You know, my daughter, she probably would, but not my son. He'd probably be like, shit, Dad, I don't want to do that shit. I want some shoes. Yeah. You know, this is the way their minds think, all the stuff they have to do. So you have to find something that's compatible with these kids in this generation right now. And more running real estate or doing something where it doesn't take very much. Yeah. That'll be more compatible for them now. I don't care how much you teach him, and I spend a lot of time teaching that boy. I don't think his mind will quite be there.
Yeah, I know. I got some kids like that too. I'm like, where is your mind, man? Like, I hope that you like mature a little bit, like at some point. Like, I don't ever remember being. Okay, I did a lot of dumb shit, but I don't ever remember being a total dingleberry, right? Where I'm just like, dur, 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 you know? Maybe I was, and I just don't recall.
social media wasn't around like that when we was coming up. So their social skills are just not there.
Yep.
You know, they really spend a lot of time like typing or sending emojis to express themselves.
Yeah.
So when it come down, like when I sit and talk to my son, oh my God, he doesn't, it's like he's, fuck, I'm like, God damn, say something. I'm like, just put me on mute. I ask him a question and he's like, what do you mean? You know, so it's hell talking to him, and I'm like, man, was I like that when I was his age? I don't know, you know, maybe I was, I don't know. I thought I'd always been kind of talkative, but maybe I wasn't, because I know at times, I mean, if your mind is not seasoned, I was trying to explain it to him, if you're quiet, you're listening, and you remember the information that you hear, that's different. But if you just don't have the vocabulary or the understanding of communication, then you're down in the spectrum. So you really need to focus on communicating because he's a ball player, and they always throwing a mic in his face. Jamil, how was the game today? And he'd be like, it was good. And then stop. I'm like, fuck, keep going, you know? So it's stuff that I try to rehearse and practice with him, but that's just a generation because a lot of kids are like that. Yep. Not just him. Percentage-wise, you have some kids that can talk and really articulate themselves, but then you have some kids that are like, oh, shit. Whew. You know, I don't know. Because we did a documentary about an immersive for failure that Sean did. Yes. And then when he put the mic in his face, I was like, damn. He's just stuck. He just don't know how to articulate himself. But then sometimes he talks and he talks a handful, but it's just a generation.
Yeah, I know. I'm worried about it a little bit. But, they used to say that about us, right? The generation before is always talking about the generation past or the generation behind.
Yeah, but this generation is different.
It's extra special.
Well, not just that, they're so lazy.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God, they're lazy. I mean, it's just the computer. We have made this generation lazy.
Yep. Let me read you. This will speak to the generation right now. So there's this girl that I wanted to babysit, right? And I said, hey, girl, I'm Sarah, so-and-so's friend. He said you might be interested in babysitting sometimes. I'd love to have you come over, check out my house, and chat. She goes, hi, I'd love to. And I was like, awesome. Are you busy tomorrow a.m.? Because I'm like, let's go. Yeah. And she's like, actually, yes, I'm staying at a friend's for the week. I'm like, okay, that's cool. I was like, when are you free next? She says, I'm not sure. I'll let you know. I was like,
I'm trying to hire you right now. So
you got another friend? You got a friend who's ambitious, who wants to, it's not like I don't pay well, right? Because I expect you to clean my house and do some other things, right? So I pay these girls pretty good. But I'm just like, I don't know. Like,
that's the generation right there. Just nonchalant is no big deal. Yep. Now, if you would have presented that to us, I don't know, she's 16, 17?
18.
18 years old. If you'd have presented that to us, we'd have been all over it. Okay. You know what? I make time. Can we meet today? Can we meet tomorrow? We're coming to get that job because that's money. These kids are broke.
Yep. I know. What are they doing? How are they making it? I mean, I call myself, I was always opportunistic. I'm still to this day. I don't know how they're getting by. Are their parents giving them money?
Yes, so that's the other thing, because I have a 16-year-old. Well, you really want them to do well in school, right? So you give them allowance. Like Jamil has a car, shoe. I just want him to work in school, get his schoolwork done. He worked a lot harder on the basketball court. So they really don't have to want for anything like we did. Like I didn't get no car when I was 15 years old. I didn't get none of that stuff that he gets. And it's like maybe I'm ruining him, but my expectations for him was for him to get good grades, work his butt off in school, be a good kid, be a good student, and this is how I reward you. But that keeps him at a minute level. Yeah. Because that's the shit he's supposed to be doing anyway. But I shouldn't have to give him those things for him to do that, right? But we just find things to motivate your kid, right?
Well, yeah. So there's that whole cycle. Let me see if I can repeat it accurately. So strong men create good times. Good times create weak men. Weak men create hard times. Hard times create strong men, and it goes around and around. So I think, we had hard times, we became strong, and now we're creating easy times, and we're creating weak men.
Yep, that's facts.
And I've got five boys, so I am so stressed out about that.
Pray for you.
It's better than having 5 girls, man. I would really be, I mean, with the way social media is and the way that girls show their bodies off and shit, like, I'm like, oh my God. And okay, granted, I own lingerie stands or whatever, so I'm all, but like, I would not want my young girl all over social media.
Well,
how do you find a good man like that?
Well, it's just not that. So girls got it really hard, and I just realized that I got nieces, and my nieces got friends, and they have issues with being accepted. So you got this social media, and these girls got this persona on how they're supposed to look, and how they're supposed to do their hair, and if somebody called them ugly, they down, like the mental health part of it, the self-esteem. So girls got it hard. Yeah. You see this girl with these tight pants on, like, girl, you don't need to dress like that. But actually she does, because it makes her feel good. So, yeah, man, I feel bad for my daughter. I'm hoping I'm doing a good job of raising her, but it's going to be tough for her when she get into school, because she might be just one way, but she see the cool people over here, and come on, human, you want to be cool too. So I don't know, girls got it really tough. It's tough on girls, because you got the guys on you, then you got other naughty ass girls that's on them, talking shit about them. So, and then they want to be accepted. Then they're looking at all this shit on TV. Then if they got a little fat on them, they feel like, oh my God. So it's just so many different variables for a girl. So girls, I will agree. I wouldn't have agreed with you years ago. I would have said, nah, males got it really tough. No, it's girls right now in this age, in this generation, they got it very tough.
Well, it's all sorts of messed up, actually. So I always recommend the books The Rational Male, because it's by Rollo Tomassi, and he's just so, I always say rational, but he is well educated, right? And he takes statistics and he takes facts and he applies it to everyday today, for example. Like, women by nature are hypergamous, right? Which means they're always looking for the next best thing. Now, everybody's looking for that alpha male, right? Whether they know it or not or whatever. That's what we are by nature attracted to. So women are born, men are made, right? So women, like, most of their value, as hard as this is for a lot of people to take, comes from their femininity, their beauty, their femininity, their ability to be a good mother, caretaker, take care of their man, that kind of thing. Men are made. So men don't really come into what they are going to become until 30, 40 or something like that, because they have to make something of themselves to have any value. I mean, if you see a 40-year-old man who's sleeping on couches and no matter how good looking he is, like, he'll be I mean, for lack of a better term, a fuckboy to somebody, but nobody's going to want to make that their husband. I mean, some idiot will. But do you know what I mean, though? And so it's really powerful stuff, and what we're doing today is, with all this girl power and boss bitch shit, is we are taking women and we're making them masculine. And so then you become this boss bitch, and then you become, I'm quoting him now too. And I love his quotes, they're awesome, right? You become the man that you want to marry. You become the man that you want to be with. So what alpha dude is going to want to be with some strong ass alpha chick? You know what I mean? Sometimes. Now, there's outliers to everything, right? But you have to, I love what he teaches, because it takes, as we're feminizing the boys, by the way, right? We want them to be in touch with their emotions. We want them to set aside their, masculinity, so that, women can feel better about themselves and women can be that boss bitch. So there's this real imbalance of what we naturally are born to be like, And so then, we get like these women who are, say, 40 or so, and a lot of them haven't even had kids yet because they focused on their career and all of this kind of stuff, and then they wonder why they're single. But they thought that they could have waited all this time to find that man. Well, not really, because, when you're the most feminine and the most attractive and the most, fertile and all of the things that men are attracted to, was way back when you were like 25 and younger. Now, nobody wants to hear this shit, but it's the truth. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's an interesting time to be in. And like, if I had girls, I would definitely be a little bit more old school with how I was raising them. And I'm definitely going to be more so with my boys. I mean, I can see women can easily, get a hold of a man's balls and just not let go. The marriage, I mean, what I think about marriage. It's real sketchy for dudes. Yeah. I mean, I'd be really careful. Like, and my oldest son, he's married to to a woman who's got really good morals and values and stuff. So I'm feeling pretty confident about that relationship. As far as like, I don't think she's going to have a bunch of kids and then leave them or whatever. But like, you got to be aware that women are hypergamous by nature, right? Yeah. So you got to maintain your household, your masculinity, and taking care of your shit to really, for that woman to not be like, man, can I do better than this? You know? Yeah. So everybody needs to read this shit. It is facts. It's not no speculation. It's not like, it's good information. And I want to raise my kids on it. You know what I mean?
Man, times are just crazy, man. You look at all these, you've been watching any of these movies lately? Even Wonder Woman, let's go to that one.
Oh, yeah, it's weak shit.
I mean,
and Wonder Woman's just Wonder Woman, right? She didn't have to overcome anything. She was just born that way.
Yeah, but look at all the other movies. I see chicks just beating the shit out of dudes, kicking their ass, and you see these women like the Maverick, whatever her name is, the Maverick woman, whatever her name is. She's got the superpowers and all this shit. They all kicking men ass. Yep. And I'm like, what is the point of this? We are really taking away masculinity from men. Oh, yeah. Then you look at the foods we eating, men, and look how these men talk.
Yeah.
Like, look.
Well, did you watch Spider-Man? Did you see kind of how weak sauce all three Spider-Men were? They're all crying together. They're all like, I love you, bro. Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, what kind of shit is that? I mean, to me as a man, we are bred to protect. If you're not bred to protect, then how are you going to protect this woman? I don't give a shit how tough she is. She's not. If women was equal to a man, then they fucking would be playing football on the field, right? They'd be on the basketball court, right? It wouldn't be a girl league. It wouldn't be none of that. It'd just be a together league. Yeah. Come on, man. Let's stop this bullshit. I mean, come on. I respect women because we need them, and women need men. But I think we are here to protect women. Yeah. Like a woman, a woman is tough when I'm not tough at. I know that, and I'm tough when she's not tough at. But together we are tough. We're strong together, right? If we can figure this shit out. But if you sit here and say a woman is tougher than a man and we got equality, that is bullshit. Yeah. That is 100. I can't stand it. And I tell my son that shit all the time. I say, you around your mom, don't start acting like her. Shit. You got to be a man. You protect mom. And I tell his mom, hey, man, you don't need your son don't need to be your boyfriend. You don't need to make him soft. Yep. He don't need to break. I mean, when he was young, 3 years old, 4 years old, and he had his shoes on. You know how they play the shoes and shit, walking around the house? I come in the house, I'm like, what the fuck? Bow, I just smacked his arm. He's like, what? Take them shoes off. We're not playing dress up. You don't play dress up. Come on, man.
And us moms, we'll let him do that. I'm like, why can't
do that shit?
Paint his nails? Like,
you can't.
He can be whoever he wants to be, okay? But at like 6 years old, come on, man.
Yeah, leave that shit alone. I'm 100% against that. And then you have some people say, well, Freddie, are you against gays? I'm like, I'm not against no gays. I got shit to do with that. You can do whatever you want to do with your life. That's none of my business. I'm just telling you, I'm going to teach my son to be who he is, right? He was born a boy, okay? So I'm going to raise him to be a man, all right? Now, if he chooses down the road to say, Dad, I want to switch up, of course I'm going to be upset, but that's his life. Yeah. He can be whatever he wants to be. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and say, I'm going to be with the shit because I'm not. Yep. But I got to let him live his life. And I'm not going to be the judge of him. I'm not going to disown him. I'm not going to say you're no longer a part of the family. I'm going to say, I'm going to love you still, son. Because I was taught to love. Yep. No matter who you are. Yep. So I'll be that same way with my son. But I'm not going to say, well, son, you can be a girl too now. You got some options here. Yep. You can probably tie your hair up in a ponytail and you can wear you can be that. Hell no. I'm not teaching them that. That's fucking crazy.
Well, especially at the ages that they're trying to present this stuff to kids and really before they should even be, even before puberty, okay? Before they're even thinking about sex, they're thinking about their sexuality. Yes. Make that make sense to me. Don't be putting that shit in kids' heads.
No, I can't stand it.
Kids will grow up. They will be who they are. I truly believe that there's, people are born, a certain way or whatever. But at this day and age, we are creating. Yes. Okay? And we need to watch out for that because that's not cool. There's shit that the doctors are given to completely change the hormones of kids. You can't turn that shit once you start that, you can't turn that off. I mean, you can stop it once it gets so far, but I have seen so many people that have went to go say transition, for example, want to detransition. Now they're a woman with a man's voice. Okay? Like, it does not, these are permanent things.
Yes.
Okay? And here's something even, because I've done a lot of research on this. So if you start taking hormones too early, you know, when you go to have that sex change operation, you need, and this is going to get probably farther than you want to go, but you need that tissue. Let's say if you're a man and you start taking hormones to, you know, estrogen or whatever, and then you don't grow the way you're supposed to grow down there, then even if you wanted to have a sex change as an adult, you cannot have a normal vagina because that is, you're turning the size of that penis. Now I'm getting real graphic here. Yeah. That's the size of the vagina, okay? Because they turn that into. So it's all fucked up. Like, you need to wait till you're a fucking grown adult to make these decisions.
Hey, I'm 100% against that. So I'm just telling you, it's just. I'm just telling you. It just my thought process. Women are beautiful. They are special. We need them. Why would I want to go touch on another man? And that's just me, the way I'm thinking. And I know they got all these different, the LGQ, whatever it is. I got to respect how they coming, because I do believe there's some people that's born that way. I just agree with you trying to churn someone else like that. Yeah. So I've seen some guys that, you know,
or getting any kind of special treatment. Like, we're all equal, okay? We all need to be equal.
Yeah, we need equal people. So if you chose to be gay and you got your gay husband, or, you know, or you got your gay girlfriend, whatever it is, that's your life. I'm not going to not talk to you. We have a good old time. We can go out and drink. We can party. I'm not going to be different towards who you are. Because that's who you are. But when you start opposing that on other people, then I have issues with it. I'm like, okay, listen, man. I think they know what they want to be, all right? So by you coming to this, that's like me. Let's use this analogy. That's like if I was a dope dealer, right? And I know all the people that's around me do dope, but I see you. You never done dope in your life, right? And I come up to you and I go, hey, you know what, man? Try this shit. Boy, it gets real high. You know, give it a shot. And I give it to you. Your ass never done dope. Now you're a crackhead. So why would I oppose that on you? And that's the same thing. If you're gay and you're in your gay community, that's okay. That's your community. But don't go try to turn somebody else to put them a part of your community. So I just don't agree with when folks do that. You know, and if you want to be gay, then be whatever you want to be. I have nothing against that part. I just got it when you're trying to change Lucy that used to make my peanut butter cookies, and you trying to have her come over here and be who you are. That shit not cool to me. I just don't like that part.
Oh, yeah. I know. I'm all about freedom. It's like if people don't believe that this shit is not going on in schools, then just watch the woke teachers of TikTok. Because there's fucking people that are out there trying to indoctrinate your kids, like, to be the way that they are, or whatever, or even just introduce. You know what I mean? It's just like, let parents be parents. You know? And definitely, like, there was one thing I was thinking of when I remember when Mike and I first got together, and I'm weak, right? Like, physically weak. And he used to try to make me, like, carry couches and shit. And I remember him getting kind of irritated.
Damn.
And I was like, hey, man, look, I didn't burn my bra. I remember saying, that was like my saying for forever. I was like, look, I didn't burn my bra. Now, I didn't know, like, you know, there were certain things that I was trying to be, you know, like, I didn't fit the mold perfectly, right? I wasn't like a perfect, like, housewife and, like, all of those things. But I know damn well that physically, like, I am not there. So don't try to turn, I'm not a feminism or a feminist at all. Like, I don't jive with that. There's, like, certain things that I've tried to do, though, where, like, I'm like, oh, women can have it all right. They can have a family and they can run a business and they can. No, you can't. You need to give somewhere, right? I mean, you can have all these things, but you're not going to be 100% a bomb-ass housewife and, you know, raise your kids at home and all that kind of stuff and still run a badass business. Like, there's give and take. You know what I mean? So. Yeah,
we talked about that earlier. You just don't have enough mind capacity. You know what I mean? So much you're thinking about. And then a woman are supposed to be lifting heavy shit anyway.
Come on, man. We learned a lot, man, living together.
I mean, you know, you ask your old lady, give me a hand. If she can't do it, I'm not finna criticize her for it, because I don't want her to get hurt. She's running the house. A woman make a house a home. So you don't want her to be hurting herself. So you might want to call your bro. This is a perfect opportunity. Like, as a man, thought I
was making shit up.
This is a perfect opportunity. Like, oh, you can't lift it.
My wrists are weak.
You call your buddy over. This is what us old school dudes do. Oh, you can't lift it, baby. That's okay. I'm gonna call my buddy Bernard. Hey, Bernard, where you at, man? Let's have a few beers, watch the game. Come on, help me with this shit up there. Help me bring this upstairs, man. My old lady's, it's too heavy for her.
Yep.
Hey, man, Bernard's coming, man. We're going to watch the game too, baby. Okay.
Yep.
I mean, come on. That's what life's about, right? If you can't, so you need some heavy lifting, you call your buddy over, and he going to call your ass over. Hey, man, I got these steaks cooking. Man, Teresa can't pick this up, man. Come on, help me get this shit up. So that's how that's supposed to go.
Yep.
Not you saying, you fucking weak. But she's supposed to be. That's what you're supposed to be strong at. Shit. You supposed to be picking that shit up. I bet you ain't saying that when she bring you that damn, them French toast and them good sausages and eggs, and she come sit it over to you. But that shit ain't weak.
But that's kind of what society has done to us, right?
Yeah, it has.
I mean, it's so messed up and so ass
It
backward.
has.
Now, he's definitely knows better now. But, I mean, when we were young, I mean, it was like right in the beginning of all of this trying to, you know what I mean? Women are equal to men and, like, all this kind of shit. And that's why, like, my favorite saying back then was, like, hey, I didn't burn my bra, so, like, let's not go there, okay? Because I know, like, I've tried to push my boundaries. I wanted to be that strong, girl or whatever. And I realized early on, I was like, I'm going to break myself.
Yeah.
And I'm good on this.
Yeah, you're not supposed to be no.
I wanted to work construction. I wanted to do all those cool things.
Fuck that.
Yep.
We don't want to be with hurt backs and shit. We don't need both of us.
We're both all crippled.
Yeah, look at my hand. I fought 259 fights.
Yep.
Between professional, between street fights, amateur.
You counted
smokers.
your street fights?
Oh yeah, I count them. I count every time I've been in a fight, sir. I counted that shit.
Yep.
They're like, okay, that's one. Okay, I lost this one. Or I won this one. Or I broke this hand. I counted it all. It's just right here. And then doing all that shit is just really teaches you to take care of yourself. Because look at my hands.
Yep.
I mean, gee whiz. When somebody come up and I almost got in something at the fuel station yesterday. So I was at the fuel station.
Because you can't be fighting now. You got too
not
much
at all.
lose.
But I had a bad attitude.
Yep.
I've been driving. My back's been hurting. So it was a Sherry's fuel station coming up by Vantage, and I go in there to get a coffee. I'm tired of shit. It wasn't a Sherry coffee. I'm sorry, but it was the only thing I can get. Then. So I got this coffee and I'm in line, and it's a long ass line because Sherry's before Vantage is like the cheap mark. It's cheap fuel, cheap everything. So I'm in there with the coffee, and this one guy he grabs these beers. And he's speaking a different language. And he walks up, and he looks at me, and he goes to the other side, and the lady gets done. I'm about to walk. He cuts right in front of me. And normally I'd be like, all right, man, hurry up. This time I had a bad attitude. So I'm like, hey, man, you don't see me standing here? He goes, fuck that. I'm paying for my beer. I said, I bet you won't pay for this fucking beer. You pay for this beer today, it's going to be a trip in it. You better get your ass behind me. And now I'm getting mad. So, but since we're older now, we know when we start to get mad, it's like, oh, shit, I might sock this dude in his face, and this could be trouble. But then he looked at me. I've gotten real bigger all of a sudden in his eyes because he looked, he's like, oh, shit. I'm like, hey, man, you might want to go to the back of the line. I'm not playing with you. And he starts speaking a different language. Doing this shit. And I'm like, I don't know what the hell you just said, bro, but I know you talking shit. Don't get your face smacked up in this place. Now I'm getting madder because I know he's talking shit. And he goes, then he playing victim. Here's the thing that folks like to do. They start this shit, and he's playing victim now. Oh, man, dude, it's no big deal. Just pay for your stuff, man. Everything good. Then he talks to the other lady. I'm doing that shit again. And I'm like, can I just pay for this coffee so I can go before I beat this dude up? And I shouldn't be like that. Now I'm in the community now dealing with kids, but we're still men. So it's all about respect, and that's the biggest thing that folks don't have is respect. Like you can cut me off. I'm not gonna get upset. You might cut me off and say, "Hey man, I'm sorry." You might be in a fucking rush. I'm gonna let it go because it's not really worth my time. But if you cut me off, flick me off, I might flick you off, but it ain't really worth my time. But when you in front of my face and you come and you do some disrespectful stuff, it's hard for a man not to address that. Yeah. And that just goes back to what we was talking about earlier. We're here to protect. Yeah. So if someone done that to your wife or your kids, you're going to be like, hold up, man. The hell wrong with you? They're not supposed to say nothing. I do. Yeah. So it comes down to that. But yeah, that was my story right there. Fuck, I was about to fight. And I haven't fought in a long time. I was supposed to fight with Chauncey in August. Not with Chauncey. Chauncey and I supposed to go to Auckland, New Zealand to do our first bare knuckle fight.
Oh. Yes. Are you sure you want to do that? You were just talking about your hands.
I did, but shit, sometimes you just gotta, they might be stronger than they was last time. I don't know. But I mean, here's the thing. I've been training, right? So dropping weight for it. And Chauncey and I have been talking about this, and we both got opponents. So I really want to fight bare knuckle. I love fighting. That's why all my fights came in bare knuckle.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm old now, 42 years old, right? So I shouldn't even be fighting no more at all. But I really want to do it.
Oh, God.
You know, and it's like I'm getting in shape right now. I want to play. These are all the things. I'm not old. I'm older, but I'm not old where I can't move.
Yeah.
I still can lift weights. I still can run. I still can play basketball, but I can't compete at that level I used to. I want to play my son one-on-one before I get too old, before shit ain't working right. So right now I can move, I can dance, I can do all that shit, but it's going to become a point when you do this shit and you're like, oh, it's hurting. So it ain't there yet. So I still want to try it. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Chance. He talked me into it, so it wasn't that hard.
That's
so it's going to be in
crazy as
August,
hell.
yeah. It's going to be bare knuckle fight. Bare knuckle, I just want to do it. And I like the shit talking.
Yep.
I don't know if you pay attention. So when you look it up when you're home, you seen some of it? I like the way they talk shit. They talk a lot of shit. And to me, I'm a mental person. And when you talk that shit, I just visualize myself hitting you in the mouth.
Oh, yeah.
I just want to hit one of them in the mouth.
It's part of the whole thing.
Yeah, so I love it. Yeah, and then you know what? The thing about boxing, I told you a long time ago, we jumped the whole subject, but like I did some MMA fighting, and most of the MMA guys, they always got something to prove. Like outside the ring, they want to fight, you know. But boxers are different. Like some of my fights I've been into, we'll go eat dinner. We'll talk about family shit. We'll talk about hanging out. We just beat the shit out of each other. Fights of the year, candidates. But it was no love lost. It was all love. But MMA was a lot different, so I didn't really get along with that sport. But I got a lot of partners that did MMA. That's really cool people. But that wasn't intriguing for me to do it because I still want to beat the shit out of you. You might beat the shit out of me. But when it's all over, it's just business.
Yep.
You know, I don't like holding no grudge against you. I don't want to go.
Well, actually, yeah, that's a good point because I think about this all the time when I talk to you because you're all love, right?
Yeah.
And I'm always looking for a reason to laugh. I wouldn't necessarily call myself all love because I do get kind of tough. But I'm always looking for an excuse to laugh, right? And I got a dark sense of humor. I make fun of myself, and I think that everybody should be able to make fun of themselves to some degree. But today and age, everybody's so fucking sensitive.
Yes.
It is the most obnoxious thing in the whole world. Now, I had a girl, and I've been called a lot of things, right? But so I had a girl call me, and multiple girls actually call me racist. One girl called me racist because I told her to do her fucking hair. I don't care.
You racist?
I don't care, right? So I don't care. And it's funny because it's like I'm the most accepting and non-judgmental person I've ever met, no matter where you come from, what color you are, whatever you associate with, whatever. But that's fine. Not everybody knows me, you know?
Yeah.
But like, so this is the funny thing. So she was working at another titty stand somewhere, and she clearly had her hair done as she was calling me racist because while she worked for me, I told her to do her fucking hair. I tell every girl, I don't care where you're from or what you look like, do your fucking hair. Okay, that's the job. So what else was, I can't remember. Somebody just the other day called me anti-LGBTQ because I said, please respect, I posted on my social media, please respect my pronouns, free as hell. It's a fucking joke, and it was funny as hell.
Yeah,
that shit's funny as hell.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
What did that got to do with that?
I don't know. Well, because so they're all into pronouns and respecting each other's pronouns and whatever. I don't misgender something. Like I'll call you whatever you want me to call you. You know what I mean? I have family members that were born a she, want to be called a he, and I call him he. That's I just do what it.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that. That's totally, I'm going to respect you, especially like when you're right here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like if you can't make fun of yourself and, you know what I mean? Like I make the funniest shit. Like I have posts of me completely being a goof troop because it was too funny not to post. If I'm having a bad day, I'll just go look at the dumb shit that I did before and crack up. You know what I mean? People are so freaking sensitive these days, and I think that it's definitely going to backfire.
Yes.
In a big way.
I tell you, I had an experience. I just got, I was in Tacoma, Jamil State tournament. And the Uber driver, oh my God. So he was different, right? And I didn't know if he wanted me to call him he or she, because he clearly looked like a man, but he had everything feminine on. So to me, I'm like, fuck, what did I do? I mean, you try to think about it, you want to be correct because I don't want to respect him. Because even though he might not see himself as a man, he's still a human being, and I want to respect him. I want to respect him or her. Doesn't matter what I think he should be. That's not none of my business. It's what he wants to be called. So I didn't know what to say. Right? So I caught myself saying, yeah, dude, you know, because we joking.
Yep.
He's joking and shit. And I'm like, fuck, I better be quiet because I don't say dude too many times. And yeah, bro. And I don't say too many man gestures. I don't know if he wants to be called or he wants to be called she. So that was a tough one. He was funny as shit. But that's that happy medium. What do you do? That's just like if you see, a woman, and this is a big no-no, with a stomach poking out, she looks pregnant.
Right.
You know, you ask her how many months you are,
Yep.
you shut the fuck up.
Yep.
So to me, I just shut the fuck up and I just didn't ask him. And if he was to say, call himself he or she, then I would elaborate off of that.
Yeah.
But that was a tough thing, man, when I'm riding that. That was an uncomfortable ride in that aspect.
Yep.
I didn't know what to say.
I know,
But,
and that's unfortunate because then a lot of people just won't have a conversation.
Yeah.
Because of that. And it's like, no, man, we need to quit being so freaking sensitive because it is separating us
Yes.
way too far. The funniest humor, the best comedians are the ones that just speak raw truth. That's the funny shit.
Very funny.
You know?
That's very funny. And I think to me, I just talk. I don't give a shit who you are. I don't know I don't care what you look
That's
like.
what
I've been
I'm
all
like
over
too.
the world. You know, I don't care. I mean, because I know one thing, and I tell my son this all the time. I was like, son, I've done some things I'm not happy about or proud of, but I know when I leave this earth and I make my maker, we have a conversation. He gonna say, Freddie, you done everything. You loved everybody. Because I love everybody. So even this dude here, I don't care what he is. I still love him, and I don't even fucking know him from a can of paint.
Yeah.
I just know we had a good time in the car. You know, I was trying to respect him, but some people just get butthurt off the little things. You know, they just get butthurt, or they become judgmental. Like, oh, this fucking dude, he's a retard, or you know how folks talk.
Yeah.
You know, and to me, that's just disrespect. You don't know what this person had been through.
Yep.
You know, they could have been through some shit that this is what they want to do now, and you can do this. Supposed to be the land of the free. Yep. You know, so you can do anything you want to do.
Yep.
So yeah.
Well, speaking of that now too, so we were talking about this the other day. So do you think that being black has held you back in any way from being successful? You personally?
In a lot of things. Yeah, it has. You know, but you know, it only can hold you back if you let it.
Yeah.
Right? So you have to really understand what's holding you back. Like if you say, okay, I'm black, this is why they don't want me to work in this office. Where there's always a back door to get in. Yeah. You just got to find it, right? Because some folks will say you don't fit the office criteria. You know, I remember a long time ago when I used to do work for, I hate to put his name out there, but I'm going to say it anyway, Randy Baker, right? We worked, where we at now? We're downtown. So we was on the corner of Washington and Sprague. This is years ago, Baker's Investments. And I can tell he was cool to me in my face, but he really wasn't the guy that he was presenting to be. Yeah. Right? But I was good at what I do. I'm a salesman. I know how to talk to people. I know how to make stuff happen. And I knew for me to get in there, I have to go the back doorway because it was a pretty good company. It was very, very profitable. Taught me a lot. And I knew my color made a difference. I knew that. But it doesn't bother me because to me, like I told you before, anybody that's racist, they're the ignorant ones because you don't know what you're missing out on. I'm funny shit. You know what I mean? So I can't help that I just happen to be black because I didn't have that fucking decision. Like when my mom and dad laid down and they went to work in that room, 11 o'clock, 12, whatever time it was, and they made me, I didn't have the opportunity to say, hey, Dad, man, I think I want to be white. So make sure you make that. I ain't had no fucking opportunity. I ain't had no chance of picking that shit. And you didn't, and the man that's racist didn't either. So if people think like that, you would think, damn, I'm really dumb. I'm really not very smart. Because I didn't have a decision to be white. I just happened to be fucking white. You got to make the best of it. Right? And I just happened to be black or Chinese or you got Russians or Ukrainians. No one had a decision. So that's why my love is so strong for everybody because you didn't have a fucking chance. A choice of what you was going to be. So when I was in his office, I knew that, we was doing a percentage thing. It's like 3% for sales. My percentage was 1%. Oh. Yeah, for if I made a sale. Yeah. Or was leasing property. So what the job was, you lease, but we sell. So we lease like we build a mall script, right? You build it, and after you build it, before the ground is broken, you lease out every unit. Then the whole building is sold, right? So you get a percentage of the whole amount is sold, right? So mine was less. I knew it because the color of my skin, and that's just know how his mind is thought, and that shit is taught. You know, so to me, I can't even be mad at him for what he was taught. And he didn't really was highly disrespectful, but I knew that was the issue.
Yep.
I knew that's why I wasn't going to grow around him. But I learned a lot from him, and I learned a lot from that situation to start my own stuff. You know, and there's some things, and it even happened to me in North Dakota. Like when I work deals, when I'm on the phone, you don't know, I'm not thuggish. So when I'm doing business, I sound completely different. So you probably think I'm a white guy. You know, I've showed up in some meetings and like, wasn't expecting that.
Yeah.
But then you see this big black guy that's cool as shit, and you're like, you know what? I do business with you, but I know I can't fuck up.
Yep.
Because my room for error is not very big, so I got to be right on.
Yep.
I know I can't fuck up. I can't make no mistakes. I got to be right on. All business. As soon as I fuck up or show any signs of potentially fucking up, I'm off the deal. So and I know that's from being black, but I'm not gonna. I never taught my son that, and I never would teach my son or daughter that. Like, hey, you got to watch because if this person sees you doing that, they're gonna get you because you're black. Well, you got to know that in your brain, like you got a different line of opportunities than any other race.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you that too. Like, if let's say we had kids, because I know you have mixed race kids, like how would you teach them? So I'm glad that you answered that.
Yeah.
So, because I think there's a lot of things that I didn't get the opportunities for, just because like I'm a woman, and especially because I had, you know, young kids, you know, and so they knew that I couldn't pull it off. But I just found, you know, one door closing was another one opening. And honestly, I think so being a man, and so being a black man or being a woman, now that there's like affirmative action in place, if we weren't entrepreneurs, I think that we probably hit a lot more adversity just being entrepreneurs, right? Because we need actually people to believe in us, and we don't have like affirmative action in our corner, where like, you know, other jobs, say Kaiser or whatever, they have to hire so many black people and women to meet this quota. So it's kind of like all over the board. I think like that to me is like racist against, especially like Asians. Like I feel like they face the most adversity right now, because even in colleges, they have to get better scores than everybody. I mean, because they're so smart, right? So they have different criteria for different races. How the fuck's that not racist? How is that not racist?
Well, it is.
It's like it's fighting fire with fire. You know what I mean? So like, what do you think the answer is to like level the playing field or get back to where everybody's truly equal? Like, this is America, right? So we all should have equal opportunity, not necessarily equal outcome, right? Because it's based on your work and your work ethic.
Yeah.
So like, would that be like get rid of affirmative action, or like how do we fix this? Because I think the pendulum is swinging in the other direction. You know, I mean, they're talking about reparations and shit. Like, how does that even fucking make sense? You're making victims. You know, you're letting people play the victim, and you and I both know that the worst thing you can do is be a victim, right? That's not going to get you out of your situation, right? So we need to like, and I think, and I don't know what you think here, but I think that all of this, like we were talking about systemic racism the other day, like it starts with the individual, right? There's no real answer to try to lift. I mean, we've tried, throwing a bunch of money into like, say the impoverished communities that happen to be mostly black, right? But then the gentrification happens, and then we just end up pushing the black community into a different community. Or, we've tried all these different things that like don't seem to work. So like, what could we do? What could work? I mean, aside from teaching your kids the right way, right? So like teaching your kids, and then the individual, like as an individual in America, you need to make these moves for yourself. You need to follow a different path. You need to break the cycle, for example. Because like I had to break the cycle of addiction. Now a whole bunch of my sisters live in poverty, basically. Well, I'm not basically, like they actually live in poverty because they haven't broke the cycle. You know what I mean? So like, what do we do?
Well, that's a tough one, because.
Or we just start mixing races until we're all one race. How about that?
I mean, that could be one way, I guess, but it all stems upon how you raised, because, I can speak for myself how I was raised. You got systematic racism, right? So you're living in a certain system where, you in this community. Like I'm from Columbia, South Carolina. I grew up in Ridgewood, so we was in the cocoon. We didn't really see anything outside of Ridgewood, so our education opportunity was very minute. So we didn't really get a chance to study at a high level, to get our minds to flourish and think about different things. So we was just stuck in that. So most guys and women become janitors or housekeepers, or it's very small. So you look at the racism where you don't know how to articulate yourself to be marketable, to do something successful and get out of that. Because once a man of any race see that you are serious, when you walk in that building, he's going to treat you different. I don't care what color you are. And I experienced that. But if he sees you coming there and you're on some bullshit, which most businessmen can see that, they're going to treat you as such. So you just have to learn that for yourself. We can set up all these fucking rules and all these barriers you want, but if you come in there acting a certain way, you're going to get treated as such. So I can speak for myself as being successful in business because of what I've learned, when the opportunities that was presented to me, taking advantage of it, going to school, Whitworth, studying my craft and be able to do what I need to do to uplift myself and teach others, like my kids, my kids' friends, and when I hear stuff about I can't get in this job, these guys are racist. Well, they probably are, but that's just one job. Yeah. You still can work. There's black folks out here working. Yep. So you can't really tell me that it's not an opportunity for you. You got to make it for yourself. And I can stem from even coming into the community, after getting in trouble in 2007, coming into the community as a coach. I knew I was going to open myself up for people to look my name up and see what I've been through. That shit didn't bother me because my pride left. I don't have that type of pride. So I'm not going to be like, oh, my God, don't look me up. Look me up. I'm actually going to talk about it with
like
you if
I'm
you
proud.
want to.
Yeah,
let's roll this thing, baby. It's no biggie. I'm not ashamed of that because that's my journey. And some folks got to understand that you got to go through something. Experiences to me is the most important thing. And most top businessmen, we could talk about this, where they wouldn't even give you an opportunity like me giving you an opportunity to invest in you if you didn't go through something, if you didn't fail, if you didn't learn something. So you have to learn to make yourself marketable. As a black man, a white lady, a white man, Chinese, Japanese, you have to learn something to be marketable. So it stems on you, to get that opportunity. So you can't go say they won't let me in. Yeah, they'll let you in. You just got to know how to knock on the door. You got to open that door. I mean, it's a special way to do it. It's a code to it. So if you sit here and you blame everybody, you ain't going nowhere anyway. Yep. I don't like hearing that shit. Every black buddy I've ever had, they're no longer my buddy if I hear them say they won't let me in because I'm black. I don't want to really be around you anyway because I'm fucking black and I've been in a lot of doors. Yeah. I've been in a lot of places. I've been out the country 89 times. I've met leaders. Yep. I've talked to the billionaires. I've sat at the table. I had a seat at the table to talk. So I don't have a rich dad. I have a dad that's still living in the ghetto. My mom too. My folks are still in Columbia, South Carolina, Augusta, Georgia. They right there. So no one have said, here you go, Freddie. I had to earn that shit. Yep. So it's how you present yourself. So I'm a true believer. It's up to you, and you have to take the risk and go learn it for yourself so you can articulate how to talk to people. Yep. Like I wouldn't be talking to you right now if I was just a dumbass, if I was just on the streets or being a thug or walking around the community gang banging. Who the hell want to be around that? So if you're so negative and you're always about they won't let me in because I'm black. Like the LGB, I don't even really know how to say anything out of the way. There's so many different letters in that deal. And don't try to, I had to speak to them. Don't try to get me in trouble because I don't say this shit right. I just don't. Because to me, everybody's the same. I don't care what you are.
Right.
So
treat everybody the same.
You're damn right. I'm going to teach the same. Yep. The letter thing, right? With all the L letters in it and shit. The alphabet thing. I mean, just look at that situation. And I think, like, I don't know why you call it African-American black folks need to adopt that theme on how they came into the community and all stuck together like that. Because that's the biggest thing for black folks. We really don't stick together. Really? Hell no. I mean, you go up in the store. Like I go in the store right now. I drive in one of my cars, one of the nice cars. You go in your nice car and you go in the store. And you see a black man with his woman. And you go in that store. He going to look at you and do this. God damn. Motherfucker, what is he doing here? Motherfucker, homo. Yeah. It's no love. Yeah. But you see some mature black man that's been through something. He see you. You can see the light in his face. What's up, brother? Yep. It's love. So that's not everybody. But the ones that's really down, they don't want to see you get up. Yep. They prey on your failure, man. And that's your own community. That's your own race.
Well, yeah, because we've sat there and you've put stuff on your social media while we were sitting there, and you were like, just wait, just watch, just wait, starting shit with your own community, and they're fucking come after you hard just for something you believe, right?
Fuck,
for like your own opinion, right?
You remember the Trump shit?
Yo, that was so funny.
Oh my God! So I'm in business, so I'm gonna go with the guy that's gonna help me out with my business, you know. And then it's what I believe in. I don't give a shit about you. You say that he's racist. That's your opinion. Yep. To me, all fucking presidents got racists in them. If you really want to go there, they just show it different. But to me, I don't believe he's like that. I believe differently. Yeah. So that's my opinion. What I'm looking at is how he can help my family and all my friends that do business be successful. What can he do for our country? Right. So I look at it totally differently with you. When you talk to most black folks about Donald Trump, you name something else they talk about besides he's a racist.
Yeah. And it's unfortunate too because it's propaganda, right? Like, I mean, they'll do anything to deflect from the side that they want, you to go with. Yeah, and they prey on the black community with politics. It's so fucking unfortunate when really, I mean, if any time a Democrat has been in office, has their plight gotten any better? Has anything in their life gotten any better? Ever? No, because it's all about what you said. The individual needs to break the cycle, do something for yourself, get the fuck off the state shit. The fathers need to be back in the homes. Like you, I mean, are a great father, and you speak to that all the time. I think that's a huge broken aspect of the community, you know? I mean, why is it that, with being on the state, for example, being on welfare, they offer up all of these opportunities for you to break a family up,
That's lazy, though.
Yeah.
It's just lazy.
Yeah.
And I can speak, I don't want to throw my sister out, I love her to death, but I can speak, like, I can remember conversations with my sister a long time ago, she's different now, where she was like, if I work more hours, they're going to knock my food stamps down, and they're going to do this.
They're keeping you low.
And I'm like, well, that's the level of your opportunity then. If you look at it that way, you need to go work a lot of fucking hours. You need to go find a career or a trade or something that you can make more money. You need to stop depending on those food stamps. Stop depending on the breaks they give you on how much you pay for your house. Because all of you guys got that in your mind that, man, they're giving this to me and you want to keep taking. Well, how about go earn that shit? Then you look at me down the road like, well, Freddie, can we borrow $200? Can we borrow this? You want me to give you that? Because it ain't borrow. Borrow is just the way to get it. Because when you get it, you're never going to get the shit back, right? So folks are stuck on that give. If we have a party right now, Sarah, in this place, and we say we finna give out free alcohol, this fucking place going to be packed, But if we have a party, we're going to charge at the door. We probably get out of like us, But we're going to have to promote it. We're going to have to market it. It's going to take work to get it, and that's something people don't like to do, especially in this generation. They don't want to fucking work. I don't want to work their hell no, hold up, I'm just gonna work my 20 hours, because if I go over 20 hours, they ain't gonna give me these $800 worth of food stamps. Okay.
Man, I have a sister who is so good at ripping off the fucking state and coming up with all of these I'm like, if you came and worked for my company, girl, I would probably end up paying you $100,000 for all the money you could save me. I know you are that talented at this point.
Like, don't want to use it.
No, they don't want to use it for something good. It's the craziest thing.
I've seen it, man. It's just crazy how folks are. I mean, God, I can go into depth about, like, you go in the hood and you see folks that's just, because I used to be that kid that would sit on a brick in the cut, drinking a 40, telling fucking stories. Now, those same guys I did that shit, now, I'm not ashamed to tell you, I was 14 years old with a 40 ounce of more liquor. 14 now. I'm thinking about I used to think about it with my son when he was 14 years old. Drinking a 40, listen to these stories. Now I'm 42 years old. This was 14. Those same fucking guys are still on that brick, drinking a 40, telling a story. You know what I mean? So that's the cocoon that we was in. And if you don't do nothing to get out of it, you stay in it. You're 42 years old. On the thing, yeah, man, shit, Lucy and them got kicked out the other day. What happened? That's the fucking story you're telling, drinking that 40. But that's just the life that a lot of people pick because it's easy. All you got to do is ask. Like, if I walk past you, hey, man, let me get $3, let me get $4. What's $3-4 does? Just, here you go. My biggie. So you look in your pocket, that's their 40 for today, right? We might get 2. So it's easy living. You don't have to worry about nothing. You don't have to do anything. You can put a guy in a situation with so much talent, but his mind's already like systematic programmed to not do a lot. So he doesn't want to do it.
Yep.
He's accustomed to sitting on that brick, drinking that 40, telling that story, and they all look for stories. And it can be fake stories. It can be rumors.
And they're going to get lazier. We were just talking about that.
Oh, the time it's going to be way lazier.
Yep.
I mean, the kids, the generation. I mean, if we don't do something to keep motivating our kids to do something, that's why I'm so heavily into sports. You know, because I know if you got to work to be good at sports, and that builds that certain work ethic, and hopefully it can translate to life. Like for my son and my daughter when she gets there, to go work, to go do something. You know, and they're going to fail. So that's why I'm big on no mercy for failure, because everybody's going to fail. You're going to fail. You failed. I failed. That's how you get back up, right? So I teach them that, and hopefully it just translates as they get older that you're going to fall down, man. You just got to get your ass back up and laugh at it, man, because make fun of it.
That's
laugh
the
at
biggest
it.
deal is you got to have a sense of humor, man, because people aren't going to fucking make it without one.
No.
How do you make it in this world without a sense of humor?
I know, that's boring.
Always looking for an excuse to laugh.
Fuck, that's so boring if you didn't laugh.
Yes, everything's too fucking serious, man. It's crazy out there.
I get started laughing. I seen this dude the other day. He fucking fell and bust his ass. He was coming up the Tacoma Dome. He turned the corner and slipped. Boom! I'm like, oh, shit. I'm trying to hold it, and then in your mind, you're like, damn, I gotta help him up. So you go help him up, man. Dude, you all right? And if he gets up quick and he shakes off quick, yeah, I'm good, man. Oh, I can't stop it. Oh, shit, I was laughing my ass off. But we could have been the wrong situation. If he was hurt, you shouldn't laugh. Because you don't want to see no one get hurt. But since he wasn't hurt, I fucking started crying laughing because it was the way he fell, you know. But then you see, we're bad at this too. I seen an old lady fall. Now, to me, I'm a protector. That could be my grandma, somebody's grandma, auntie, whoever it may be. So you pick the lady up. This is a long time ago I see this lady fell. She fell. She kind of hurt herself, but she got up and she made a joke about it. Right? And I still didn't laugh because I'm a protector. I don't want to see the lady hurt herself. But when I got home, I was watching some show. I can't remember what it was. And that fell come up and her joke came up. And I laughed. Like I could not stop laughing, you know, but I couldn't disrespect her, and my heart wouldn't let me laugh right then and there, you know, but still, it was still a way of save that laughter for a different moment. It just ain't the moment, and some people got to understand that it might not be the time to do it, but when you get into your privacy of your own home, you know, if you could think about something, if she really didn't hurt herself, if she really hurt herself, I probably could never laugh because it's sad, but since she made a joke, even though I still couldn't laugh right then and there, but later on that day, oh yeah, it came out.
Yeah, there's something. There's something. I was really surprised I didn't get a kick out of that frickin' SNL skit that they put out, that COVID one about the masks and frickin' shit. Do you remember? No. Well, I put it on my social media, but maybe I'll post it on my actual page. But that shit pissed me off. I was like, that feels like gaslighting. This feels like a fucking abusive relationship to me. Okay, because it was finally everybody who has been SNL. You know what I mean? They're totally like, they're just goofy anymore anyway. But they did this whole skit about, you know, like maybe the masks this whole time there was no point. Maybe, and I can't even, because it wasn't even funny, right, to me. I was just like, 2 years ago. Like, well, everybody's like, so 1 year ago. I knew this shit was bullshit 2 fucking years ago. Like, I don't care. I was an asshole. Mike had me crying because he thought I was such a bitch. Over just all of it, because I was not, so, like, from the 2 weeks to slow the spread, I was not okay with that. I don't care if it's Ebola. Like, we don't shut shit down. People make their own fucking decisions. This is America. Okay, I'm an adult. I can decide if I want to go to the store. I can decide if I want to wear a mask or whatever. You know, and everybody just need to have a little bit of common sense. They were like, we didn't know at first. Bullshit. You weren't watching the right news. Okay, if you were watching CNN or whatever, like all the propaganda, then yeah, we didn't know shit, okay? We still don't know shit according to them, okay?
Yeah.
But, like, come on, man. Like, everybody, if you knew a little bit about how, like, doctors even, I was like, you guys know as well as anybody, if you want to hide from a virus, you better suit up in a hazmat suit because that's what you do in the hospitals when you're in some sort, if you were dealing with Ebola, for example, you'd full-on hazmat suit. Why do you think a surgical mask with all these holes and all of your other, you know, this is open. This is like your eyeballs are like an open wound. They might as well be. Okay, if a virus is going to get anywhere near your mouth, it's going in your freaking eyeball, in your nose. Well, I guess the mask would cover the nose. In the sides. You cannot run from a virus.
And to me, I mean, my theory and the thing, you're only making yourself weaker anyway. It's like when we was kids.
Yeah.
Imagine if we didn't go play in the dirt.
I know.
You know what I mean? It's bacteria. It's how you get stronger.
Yeah.
So to me, I'm 100% against it. We all wear masks. I mean, I had a guy tell me the story a while ago. Man, you going to put your mask on? Probably not. Why? Well, you're supposed to put your mask on, man. You're harming me. I'm not harming you. If you're so fucking scared, you should stay your ass home.
Yes.
You scared, stay home, man.
Yes.
I mean, listen, if I'm going to die, I'm going to die. I'm not going to run from it, man. Listen, I'm not wearing this stupid-ass mask. I'm not going around here. These places with this shit, it just gets on my nerves. Yep. We got to wear a mask. Think about the bird flu. The flu, I was way more sicker. I've had COVID. You know, out of commission maybe a day. That's it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's like...
Yeah, we have these things. We have pandemics, and this is what people...
Yeah.
This is the first pandemic, and no. We have pandemics every year or two. Like, we had one when Obama was in office. We didn't hear about it. Not even a little bit. Okay?
They didn't push it like that.
No.
There wasn't money behind it. Everything is predicated off money. So the more cash they can make off of it. I mean, look how much controlling this is doing. All these relief programs, all this money that's been given away. You think they gave that away and not getting that back? Oh, that's coming back, Jack.
Well, man, if you look at how much money they gave away and how much money the people got versus how much their crony buddies got. Okay, the JFK Center. You know, I can't even name all of the places now because I don't remember, but when I did the research back then, it was like a tiny percentage of the money that they're passing out is actually going to the people. That's our money. Do you forget that is our tax money? It's like, I don't understand where people's brains are. You know, they're all promoting, so because we're going to get a $500 check, we're going to get a $1,200 check. And, well, you need to look at where the rest of the money is going, okay? Use your freaking brain.
Yeah, that's minute. I mean, look at all the prices. Look how stuff's going to raise. Look at the taxes. I mean, they're going to keep those taxes on well after they recoup all that money. It's not going to change. You know, look at the war started in Ukraine.
Yep.
When it started,
perfect timing.
20 cents fuel raised like right now. What changed? Did the fuel cut that quick? Did our fuel stop that quick? Our resources stop that quick? No, it's about money. Let's go ahead and get a dime off of this. I mean, come on, man.
And not only that, like, so that the whole trucker convoy, so a couple of your trucks are they over in D.C. right now? Yeah,
man. Craig Brown.
Yeah.
So look up Craig Brown, man. He was on the New York Times. Did you see that?
No. I'll look it up.
Craig's down there. He's actually the leader of the convoy.
The People's Convoy?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, Craig Brown. I think I sent that to you. Sent that all to you? Yeah, he's doing good, man. He's a stand-up guy, and he's in it. I mean, I read a comment on there, and I'm not going to say her name, made a comment, well, there was no mandatory for the trucks. No, don't you know that all these truckers that's riding for all of our freedom?
Yeah.
We should have the freedom to decide if we want to get shot by that shit or not.
Yeah.
Should have the freedom. We want to wear a mask around. The freedom is, if you're afraid to go outside, if it's harmful, stay in the door.
Yep.
It shouldn't be like restrictions, all these dumbass restrictions and rules.
On healthy people.
And people are taking advantage of it. I could tell you basketball teams, I'm not going to call them out, but I'm going to tell you there's basketball teams that's still using that, getting money off you and saying we cannot get rooms or we cannot fly you in a plane because of the COVID restrictions. And that's a lie.
Yep.
You know, so all that stuff that people are using off this COVID shit is just bullshit.
Yep.
Don't like it at all.
Yeah.
You know, but Craig, go back to Craig for a sec. I can't talk enough about Craig. He's an outstanding man. He's very smart. He's a great businessman. He runs his truck well, and he believe in freedom.
Yep.
He's a true believer of it.
Yep.
So, and he does things for everybody. Like, look what he's doing. I mean, Craig, how many weeks has it been? 2 weeks?
Since they left, yeah.
Like, if I was to do the math for Craig is missing out on tens of thousands of dollars he could have been making on running his truck because he's a good driver. He's smart. He's doing this for everybody, not himself.
I know.
You know, he's that guy that live off the grid. He believes in taking self-sufficiency. You know, I mean, I want to be. I grew up. I want to be like Craig.
Yep.
You know, got his own house, in a cut, 30 acres. I mean, generators. He doesn't live nothing off of the state. I mean, all his stuff, his water, well, electricity, generators. You know, I mean, he's this smart. He wants to do his own thing. He believes in freedom. And then when he's running, man, every time I see his name pop up, man, I'm just like, Craig. I am a Craig supporter.
Yep.
You know?
Yep. So I went over to DC. I was trying to catch the truckers. I bought my ticket too soon, right? Because it's hard to find the dates of these things, right?
Yeah.
And so I was following the Freedom Convoy, not the People's Convoy, right? So the Freedom Convoy, it was really small. So I collected like $1,203 from the coffee stands and Fresh. And I wanted to bring it down there and pass it out to the truckers because I just want to hug a trucker. Like, I am so thankful. Like, because you know the fight that I've been fighting, like I said, from the minute that they locked down China, I had a sinking feeling in my gut. I was like, ooh, they're going to do that. I just knew they were going to do that shit here. And I'm just so against it, right?
Yeah.
And so I was that person where nobody was willing to say anything. And I'm out here screaming from the rooftops, right? So I felt all alone. I'm crying. Everybody fucking hates me. They think I'm a cold killer, really, you know? And so I'm all, you know, by myself. And then I'm just like so vocal. I refuse to abide by any mandates in like the businesses. You know, I was looking to try to like, it's so hard to get everybody together. Like these restaurants were just following rules, and it's so hard to find somebody who's willing to fight like I'm willing to fight, right? And these truckers, like, it's just such a like a relief, right? I'm just like, finally, like people are standing up like no mercy, right? They're just like, nope, sorry, we're going for it. I don't care if they're dropping mandates in states or whatever. They don't care. They are going anyways because they realize that this freaking communist agenda is what it is. They're not going to let up. Like they've lifted mandates before. You forget, like 6 months in, a year in, you know what I mean? They just keep doing it again. Yeah. So we need to do this, and I'm just like so proud. I mean, I bawl my eyes out every day that I'm watching this shit. So like, if they're still there on like the 6th and the 7th, or I mean, I'll have to find out. I'm trying to, the end of this week. So if they're still there at the end of this week, I have to go back because I have to be a part of that. Like I just have to be.
You made me want to call Craig now. Craig is the leader.
Well, he let me sleep in the back of his truck because last time, man.
It's Brown Sugar. That's the name of it. His truck is called the Sugar Shack.
Yeah. Sugar Shack?
Yeah.
Can I sleep in the back of the Sugar Shack, please? I just need a bed, okay?
Craig is so cool. He probably be like, take it.
Yes.
He's about the people.
Oh, I can't. I just like, I get so inspired and just, I just want to go there and cry and hug people. That's what I'm going to do.
And they're working their asses off, man. I think the convoy now, the one he's in charge of, 70 miles long.
Oh my God, it's gotten so huge, and but anyway, so back to like what they have no coverage on the regular news, right? So everybody's like, oh yeah, everybody forgot about the convoy. Bullshit. And then the Ukraine war, and now everybody's posting on social media all about this war, whatever. Like, I'm not trying to minimize war. War is horrible, and it's horrible. Like, war is bad, but like right now, like we are diverting attention from what's going on in our very own backyard. Like, we need to hold the line. Like, this is, keep pushing through. Like, we need to keep fighting. Like, they're not going to let up. If we let up, they're gonna keep pushing harder.
I hate this COVID shit. It's just so bad. It's just bad business.
They say every generation has to fight for our freedom. So this is the hill I'm willing to die on. Like, I don't give a shit. Like, I hate, not deviant, but they're lying, and people are buying it. That makes me so sick. Like, I can't stand that. I cannot stand freaking liars that are trying to lead you astray, lead you into, we're being run by a crime syndicate. The government is straight up a freaking crime syndicate at this point, and people still follow them like it's like a cult. Yeah. It's disgusting. Like, these people do not have your best interests at heart. Big Pharma, with these shots and with whatever, with, a product that they have no liability for, that they make the most money out of. You can look all this shit up. The most money they make out of any drug that they produce is a fucking vaccine. And you cannot sue them for it. They have no liability behind it. And you're going to trust that? You're going to trust that? These are people that Pfizer has paid out the largest lawsuit in history. And it came along with criminal charges as well. Nobody went to prison. They paid it out. And people trust these people. It's the same people. It's the same people that make the drugs that are killing all of the kids on the streets and all of this, the drug crap that's going on right now. Yeah. Those are the same people that create the vaccines, and you seem to think that they have your best interest at heart. God. What is wrong with your thinking? You know what I mean? What is wrong with these people? Like, no sense.
None at all, man. And I was talking to a lady the other day. It was at the basketball gym. This was probably like a couple weeks ago, and she had a mask on. I had mine off, and she said, "Where's your mask?" I was like, "In my pocket."
Mind your business.
That's what I should have said. But I'll be wanting to have that smart mouth,
Yep.
but I can't.
Yep.
So she goes, "Well, you are harming everybody." I'm like, "Well, you should stay home."
Yes.
Then she said, "Well, I got to protect my mom and dad." And I understand that, but I'm pretty sure your mom and dad ain't worried about that.
Mm-hmm.
You got a life to live, and I understand you don't want to get them sick or whatnot, but there's old folks that don't caught the COVID and been just fine.
Mm-hmm.
Some bodies are not going to hold up from it, but that's anything. Your mom and dad can catch the flu.
Mm-hmm.
They can step on a nail. I mean, anything can get you, right? So why should I be behind a mask and not show my face?
Mm-hmm.
You can't even see people's smiles no more. Everybody with a mask on. You go up in a building, everybody with a mask on. You can't even really judge if they really laughing for real or they talking for real because we all got fucking masks on our face.
Yep.
I mean, look at this shit. I mean, we got masks in our cars like we got a drink. Look at all the fucking masks. I mean, I got 5 masks right here because you got to have them to go in a certain building. Mm-hmm. You can't go in, sir. Mm-hmm. I got all these masks in here. I just, goddamn, I can't. I forget my wallet now before I forget a mask.
Oh,
that's crazy.
I refuse to participate in that. I don't know what I would do if I was in your position because I walk anywhere that I want to without a mask. The DMV, she was like, "You need a mask," and she handed it to me, and I was like, "What, are you going to kick me out if I don't wear it?" And she was like, "We require a mask here." Shoved it in my pocket, and I went and sat down. Fuck you. Fuck your mask. You can come and take me out of here. This is a public fucking space, and I need to get my ID.
Yeah, see?
Like, I'm so, like I said, this is the hill I'm going to die on. I knew how stupid trying to run from a virus with a little goofy-ass mask was from the beginning. I'm not going to play that stupid game. I'm not a fool. And so I'm sorry. I feel dumb. I feel so dumb walking around with a goofy-ass mask on. It's hard enough that I have to in the airport, right? Because there's no way to get through TSA without one.
They ain't playing with you then.
No, but I will not wear one all the way up. You can go ahead and remind me to put it on because I'm just not going to play that fucking game. Like,
yeah, I can't wait till it's over. What is it? What was the date? The 21st of this month? No more masks?
I don't
Is
know.
that for the nation or just Washington?
I don't know because it doesn't apply to me because I don't participate.
Yeah, I know the date's up now, man. So the convo is working because I think they moved the date down. It may be the 11th.
Oh, I hope so because I'm gonna head down there like the next day.
Where?
I want to go to DC.
Oh.
So when I went to DC this last time, what happened was there was some trucks, right? But they weren't letting them within the city limits. But they were, at first I thought that they were like all there for, all the cops were all surrounding everywhere because of the truckers, but it wasn't. It was because of the State of the Union. I was there at that time. And so and I don't think the truckers are willing to come into the heart of DC because they don't want to be set up, set up for some dumb shit like they did on January 6th. But
What'd they do then?
Oh, where, they had everybody down there protesting and then, they started opening doors and letting everybody into the building.
Oh, you're talking about that one. Yeah.
Yeah. So let me see, the 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th, 11th, 12th. Yeah, 13th, 14th. So I could go on I could leave like the 11th. So if they're still there, I want to go because it's so, I feel like I'm going to crawl out of my skin to watch it. You know what I mean? I'm so happy. I'm so inspired. I'm so passionate about it. I have to be there.
I think, God, man, just seeing all those trucks there.
Isn't it awesome?
Yeah, I just love seeing my trucks there.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to be you got to be smart about it because they're trying to they got all these rules. If we see your truck there, we're gonna suspend your DOT numbers. We're gonna do all this good stuff.
Now, how is that America? How is that a free country?
Because we ain't free.
We are allowed to. Yeah, exactly.
We're not free.
Like, see, that's some shit right there.
I know. I can remember. This is years ago. We went to China, Beijing, China. Mm-hmm. Got to China, man. They treat us like kings. Oh my God! Pull up in the Phantom. Took us around the Phantom, man. All the food and stuff we can eat. We fought. Took us all around the country. Met all the people. Signing autographs. It was beautiful. Then we come back to America, the place that we live at, where we from, born and raised. Mm-hmm. Oh my God! We had to go through the extra line. They pat us down. Pretty much had to get naked, go through your bag, ask you 1,000 questions. Mr. Flame. I mean, but we don't land on the free. And they communists over there, but they treat us like kings. They want us to be in their country.
Yeah, China's got us by the balls, and people don't want to admit it. It's sick.
Well, the thing that China going to have us about, they this
pay
damn,
us.
and you are into this Bitcoin, aren't you? And it's what is the other one?
Yep.
What's the other one? It's Bitcoin and
Ethereum.
no, not Ethereum. It's something else.
Shibu Inu. There's a whole bunch. But the only thing that I'm really into is ETH and Bitcoin. But anything that's decentralized, I'm so about it.
No. What's the other one? What is it? Crypto.
Crypto, yeah. There's all, but that's kind of like everything falls under the crypto umbrella.
No, isn't China wanting us to go 100% crypto?
Well, all of the governments want us to go to a central bank digital currency, which is, I don't know if that is, it's not blockchain technology. So maybe China wants us. China has its own central bank digital currency, the digital yuan. Yeah, and they've given it out for free. We need to be very careful when it comes to that central bank.
Yes, you just see the cyber wars and all that good stuff going on. Now think about it. I think that's part of and then you are big on freedom.
Yes.
So we get all this fucking computerized money. That's what I'm gonna call it.
Mm-hmm.
That's our freedom. Because now you got all your shit in there. Now what happens if we got like a cyber war with Russia?
Yeah.
Like threatens all the time, and we get all your money taken away. What are you gonna do then?
Well, I'm way more bullish on, that's like speculative for me. I'm way more bullish on like gold and silver. Like,
yeah, you're good with the minerals,
yeah.
But I'm just talking about not having the freedom to go to the bank and take $100,000 out the bank and let's go live in the mountains. Right?
Well, you already know that it's real hard to take $100,000 out of the
bank.
I know that, but
I'm saying you can order that. You can
Yep.
order your money.
Yep.
You know that, so you can order it and then take it out and go. But you won't have that option no more if you're just going off Bitcoin or cryptocurrency
or a CBDC. Yeah.
So what do you do then?
Well, that's
you're not free though. You see that, right? Now we arguing freedom right now about not wearing these masks and not taking these shots.
Yep.
But isn't that freedom? If we don't have the freedom to say, you know what, we're not going to deal with these phones, we're not going to deal with these computers, we're going to go like Craig, live in the mountains. We're going to go in the mountains, we're going to take this much cash, we're going to put it in the safe, and we're going to live in the mountains. We're going to deal with nothing with the computers. Wouldn't that take our freedom?
Well, see, now here's a problem with that. So a fiat money system, if they inflate away, so let's say you have cash outside the bank, let's say it's $100,000. Let's say we experience the kind of inflation that we've experienced this last year and for 5 years. That pretty much inflated to zero. So really, the only thing that maintains its value, in my opinion, is going to be gold and silver and things like that. I mean, that's where I feel most comfortable. But the actual shit that you can hold in your hand, not like an NFT. Is that what it is? ETF. You know, not like the stock market, gold and silver, but like the shit that you can freaking hold yourself. I think that Bitcoin, it does make me uncomfortable that like they could shut down the grid, right? And then how are you going to spend your Bitcoin? But you can take it off and hold it on a ledger that's outside of the system. It's called a cold wallet. But still, how are you going to exchange it, right? If say the grid is down, but it is decentralized as of right now. The problem, though, another problem that I see with Bitcoin is it decentralized if say 51% of all Bitcoin is owned by big money? I don't know. There's holes, there's questions. That's why to me it's speculative, and I don't have a lot of Bitcoin and Ethereum.
I'm not dealing with it. I don't know how.
I like real estate, and I like gold, and I like silver.
Well, that's different. That's
freedom
different than having it with your currency.
Yeah.
Like, think about China theory. Like our money, we can just make more. We can just make more, right? So that's kind of our power. Let's just think about it from that angle. You can't just make more Bitcoin. You just can't make more cryptocurrency or gold, right? Those are the minerals that's supposed to support our currency.
But
now, what happens if we go to that? Don't you think China would take over us?
Oh, I think China is trying to take over. Yeah, I do.
But
yes,
that's the grand finale, though. With this think about it. This Bitcoin, this cryptocurrency, that's the grand finale of them taking over our country.
Potentially.
Trust me, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Because now, okay, what do you got? That fucking money that you was making, you can't make it no more.
Yep.
Now you got to deal with us.
Yep.
Now we the big dogs. So I think, and this is me, I know a lot of guys will probably like, Freddie, this is my investment. I don't think no one should invest in that shit.
Yeah.
I think it should go to shits. I think we should keep we should keep the currency that we're spending now and keep our freedom. We're already having trouble with our freedom. We got to get fucking shots in our arm to walk around town and wear a mask. I mean, come on now. And then look at China. Again, you can't buy none of their land. You do know that, right? So you go to China, no China man can buy land in China. So if you go to China around and take a trip and want to invest some money, you definitely ain't going to invest none in their land because they don't sell it.
Yeah, well, our currency, I love what you're saying. I am not super bullish on Bitcoin. I know a lot of people will be mad at me for saying that. I love the idea of it, but I don't own a lot of it. But our current system is going to come to an end because all fiat systems do come to an end. There's some books that I need to, I can't think of them right now, but I'll look them up. There's some books that you need to read so you can understand like fiat money systems. My fear is, and I know this is going to happen, is that a central bank digital currency is going to come into play and people aren't going to know what it is. And then just like what China does, we'll have a social credit score and that will limit how we can use our money. It will limit where we can use our money, how far away. They could put if we went all digital, like you were saying, they could put a geofence around where they want us to stay. We'd be in an open air prison. I mean, these are the possibilities with a central bank digital currency. So you're absolutely right. I don't know. There is a vast difference between the blockchain technology and what they're proposing as a central bank digital currency. It's completely different. CBDC is not blockchain technology. It's just basically getting rid of all cash. I mean, I feel like we're almost in a digital currency right now because we do everything like we do it, Yeah,
we do, but that's numbers. But we still have we still have an opportunity to take that cash out of there. We can take those numbers out of there.
Exactly.
If we do without that, then look what we're in. I mean, that's our freedom.
It's not even our choice though. So fiat money systems, they're designed to inflate away. Like inflation is baked into the cake, right? So if you look in history, there's been many, many, many fiat money systems and they just all come to an end. And so it's not by our choice. We're not going to get rid of it, say, as like a people, right? It's just going to implode, really, essentially is what it does. It doesn't work anymore because people lose faith in it. Once, like, say, hyperinflation kicks in, let's say we keep seeing the inflation that we've been seeing in the last year and we continue to see it and all of a sudden people can't buy food, then that's when we're going to start seeing people's belief in our dollar fade away. And then that's what happens to places like Venezuela. That's why their dollars become worthless. It's because the people realize, oh my God, the money, this dollar doesn't mean anything if I don't have access to food. So then it's the belief. That's why I'm so bullish on gold and silver.
Well, that's you can never go wrong with that because minerals is the top thing that support our dollars. Yeah. But I'm just so against
Bitcoin.
I'm against all of it. Hey, you got to look at it from it's just me. I'm a negotiator, right? Yeah. So that's just play the investor, right? And let's play the seller, the buyer, right? I'm the investor. I come up with Bitcoin or cryptocurrency. I can become rich quick. Because if I can sell this to the community, I can sell this to the public, I can sell this to the next businessman, and then we got shares in it, and you can invest in it, and it all comes to me. I'm getting richer. I've just created generational wealth amongst crazy, right? So look at what everybody's been trying to invest in. You see it all the time. They come across your phone, invest in Bitcoin or cryptocurrency. Buy you some. It's going to worth this much. You get guys coming, I just sold my 3 Bitcoins and I got this much, hundreds of thousands. All this talking. So now you got all these people that want a quick fix, that put their money into this shit to get money off of it. And now, to me, I would suggest, and I'll tell this to all folks, if you like your freedom, and you got some folks that's just greedy. It's greed. So if I just invest into this Bitcoin or this cryptocurrency, I can get rich quick, a quick fix. I got money right now. But they're not looking down the road 10, 20, 15 years from now when your damn kids and your grandkids got to live in this world that's been taken over by China, our country that's been taken over by China. They're going to take this shit over. I don't care what you say. People not thinking logical about it.
I believe that's the end game too.
That 100%. Is their grand finale right now, and we are falling to it. And folks are not understanding that. I'm telling you, think about it for a minute. You take away the American dollar. That's the American dollar. What does it say, the American dollar? Now we got Bitcoin and fucking cryptocurrency. That ain't American. That's everybody's. So how about our dollar? You don't see China getting rid of their goddamn dollar. You ever seen the Chinese man dollar or the coins they have? You ever seen that money over there? They're not getting rid of that. So we'll get rid of our American dollar. to do the Bitcoin, the cryptocurrency, all that good shit. Why? Why?
Well, so true generational wealth, in my opinion, is only made through collectibles, like rare collectibles, gold, silver, real estate. That's generational wealth. Cash can be inflated away.
Well, you're right, but look at the history of our cash. How much has it? Decreased.
Oh, we're at 1% now. I mean, so something.
But it always it's like a roller coaster. It's up and down. Our American dollar is still worth. I mean, it might go down, but it comes up. It doesn't go down enough where it's not worth anything. And this is years of talking, like wars, going through all that. It doesn't go down that much. Mm-hmm. It still holds its value pretty well. We got rich soil here. Like you go to all these countries, everybody wants to be here.
Yeah, everybody does want to be here.
Yeah, so that makes all of our dollar worth a lot.
Yeah, and there is something. So I was worried about hyperinflation, like where we're going to go to like Venezuela. And I was talking to George Gammon at one of these events, and he was talking about the euro dollar system. And so he doesn't necessarily think, he says to watch the long end of the yield curve. And actually, I'll get more details for you about what he told me, because I'll have to refresh my memory on that one. But because I just watch him, right? I just watch him and listen for him to tell me when the yield curve is doing whatever he thinks it's supposed to do for us to see hyperinflation. But he says that there's so many dollars in the euro dollar system, which is all over the world, that hyperinflation isn't necessarily like going to happen here, because all over the world they use our dollars, right? So as we're sitting, and there's no way to print. We couldn't print enough dollars to offset the balance sheet of the Fed. I'm botching this actually, but he doesn't necessarily think that hyperinflation is going to happen, where I think I'm like black pill with that. I'm just like, we're going down and we're going Venezuela, and the only thing that's going to save us is gold. You know, that's why I'm like,
but nah,
guns and gold.
Nah, man. You can think about it. We always crawl our way out of it, man. And then we have so much.
You're so optimistic.
Huh?
You're so optimistic.
Because you got to look at it from this angle. Like, if we had a better president, and I had to talk shit about our own president, he's supposed to be our leader.
He's a pile of shit. It's fine.
There he is, superpower. But that's just
hiding from Biden.
Been hiding from him since day one.
Yeah.
And I always put on my Facebook, you assholes pick this dude. He's 290 years old. He needs to go somewhere and sit down and rest and be in a rocking chair. Shit, if you let me tell you, he needs to be somewhere smoking a goddamn cigar. Honey, we done it. You know, you made it to 1,000. So come on, man. I just don't believe in him at all. Why would you shut down the Keystone Pipeline? Yep. Why would you stop the oil? We have a lot of oil here. I worked in the oil fields. I know how much. We got a lot of oil here. Yep. You go to fucking North Dakota, oh my God. You might can walk in some places and it's damp with oil. Yeah. I mean, it's oil that we have here. Why are we buying oil from Russia? Yeah. Why are we buying oil from all these other places when we have it right here? Pennsylvania, Texas, Colorado, fucking... you name it. We got oil all over here, and we finding more oil. Montana's got oil. Why are we? This is what I'm. We are so greedy.
It's a crime syndicate running our country.
We're greedy. We got a greedy country. We know how to shut stuff down. We can become self-sufficient, and we have enough land here to build our own factories and not buy shit from over there in factory. But they make our shoes for 35 cents. We're probably going to charge $5. It might be a little bit more. So that investor or business owner, or they want more money, but they're not looking at what we can do to our own country to become self-sufficient. We have all this property. I travel. Now, when I was a truck driver, when I drove everywhere, all this land that's not being used, those are factories every fucking way that can be built. Yep. We can be self-sufficient. But we don't use it. We go put that shit out somewhere else.
We're in trouble if China cuts us off. People are going to freaking die. They make all of our medicine over there.
Well, we did that to ourselves.
Oh, we did that? Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
But
we've definitely gone the wrong direction.
We're coming. I know it's import, export. We need to trade. That's how we make the world strong. We all buy shit from each other and all of that. But we need to become self-sufficient. I can understand that we can do a certain percentage to buy and import, export for some of these countries, but we need to become self-sufficient. We'll be better off that way. Look at all that oil we have in the ground that we have here. We don't have to go buy oil from any place. Yep. We don't. All these ships that's coming in, sitting in the ocean, waiting to deliver their oil here. We don't have to wait on these ships. We got it here. We have so much fucking oil. And then this dude talking about the electric engine cars. Now, how in the hell our Greg's going to power all them damn cars? Like he wants it by 2030, everybody to have electric cars. I'm a diesel guy myself, man. So I like my shit to sound like a jet, you know. So what the hell I'm gonna do with something I don't hear it sound? How you determine if it broke? I don't know. I'm a country boy. I mean, I'm riding down the street, I might fall asleep in that motherfucker. Like, God damn it, the car on, you getting out, looking out of it. I mean, come on, man. I don't know. I'm just old school, man. But I know we all gonna be in electric cars. That's the next thing.
Yeah. Well, hopefully we can get somebody in there that turns this shit around because it's not good.
Who gonna get in? Who's the candidate? Everybody sucks. Who doesn't suck? Get Trump another 4 years.
Yeah.
And people might say, Freddie, you fucker, you going for Trump again? Yes, I'm going for Trump again.
I would definitely vote for Trump.
I want a dude that don't give a shit, that can get in the fucking office.
DeSantis is pretty cool.
I don't know, but I like Trump.
No,
he gets in the fucking
Trump,
office and he talks shit.
Yep.
He don't give a damn. His mouth ain't filtered.
Yep.
You don't like me, fuck you, fuck that. I just hope I wish he don't get on the tweet too damn much. Get off the tweet, Trump. Get off the tweet. I mean, just talk. He goes over there, draw a line, and tells the guys in Afghanistan, if y'all cross this line, I mean, I like a dude like that. That's a protector.
Yep.
Because if you come in my house, I'm going to tear your ass up.
I'm pretty sure he's a Capricorn like us. Let me see. I'm going to look up some chick crack is
Oh,
what,
shit,
is what Rollo calls it.
The chick investigation here.
Well, so Rollo, the guy that I told you about that wrote the book, he's my relationship therapist.
Yeah.
He calls anything that has to do with horoscopes and stuff chick crack.
Trump is, I don't know, man. My uncle, man, I can't believe he called me. My aunties, they all called me. They were talking shit about me. You vote for Trump.
I'm pretty sure he's a Capricorn. Let's see here. No.
What is he?
6/14.
Oh, 6/14. That's June.
Yeah. A Gemini?
I don't give a fuck what it is. He tough.
Son of a bitch. I wanted him to be.
Well, 6 months short. 6 months too long. I mean.
Yep, June 14th. All right.
But he's tough. I mean, I think he did some great things for us.
Yeah, and he's funny. I mean, I enjoyed the shit talking and I enjoyed all that. Like, there's people that totally supported him that was like, I just wish he'd keep his mouth shut. I was like, but that was that was the cool part.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, I don't know. But I'm a comedian, though. I love that shit. I love funny shit. He was funny.
He's very funny. And here's the thing that killed him, man. And I hope the folks that was a part of this shit, riding around with the extra racist shit, that kind of killed him.
Yeah.
You know, because I think some people felt like he was racist. Mm-hmm. And I can get in my truck now. I can say, fuck all these people because my president is about it. I wish you fuckers to sit down and still be in your rocket chairs and stay in your house and let him be the president because you made him look bad.
Everybody hates racists. Like, I think
you made him look bad, man.
We should let people be outwardly racist so then they'd get their ass beat because nobody likes that shit. We are so far fucking past that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, bye.
Well, most racist people are fucking cowards anyway.
Yeah, they're
like all the
racist.
guys that I've ran to that was racist. They wouldn't say that to me. I'm a big guy. I got fast hands. I'm gonna whoop your ass. So let's get it on. But if you was around like 6 or 7 people, now you got the balls to say something that you normally wouldn't say.
Yep.
And to me, that's a coward.
Yeah,
you're a coward. I mean, if you are who you are, then be who you are, no matter who you're around.
Yep.
So you don't need 10, 20 people to go say, I don't fucking like you, you black motherfucker.
Yep.
I'm like, okay, cool. Well, I don't like you either because you just said that. Yep. You want to fight? And you know, I had a guy do that to me. Mm-hmm. I was in fucking, this is some years ago. I was in Coeur d'Alene.
Yep.
And he buff dude, penitentiary buff. Mm-hmm. And he was beating up his girlfriend or something. I wasn't paying attention to him, but he did something to her. She's sitting on the corner. Then he took off running towards me. And he did a Superman punch.
What the
So
fuck?
I ducked. So I'm with a group of people and they laughing and shit. Mm-hmm. Like, do you know this guy? I was like, hell no, I don't know him. Who the fuck is this dude? So he turns around. He said, hey, dude, you want to fight? I'm like, hell yeah, I want to fight. So I'm trying to take my watch off. This motherfucker come running back. I was like, damn, I can't get it off. And he tackles me. So we fall to the ground and shit. We wrestle. I'm hitting him in his face. I roll over, hit him covered, and his face is opening up like a fucking piece of cheese. It's just opening all up. So I think Rose was with me that night. And she goes, that's enough. Stop hitting him. Stop hitting him. You're going to hurt him. I was like, no, I want to hurt him. Fuck. He's like, dude, you got me. I'm steady hitting him. He's talking. You got me. He got me. Now I want to get you a little more. Because what about the guy that can't fight, right? Yeah. Then he gets off the ground. Straight racist. The fucking, with the swastika tattoos, all that shit all over him. This racist as shit.
I used to be scared of Idaho because they talked about how, like, all the racists were over there. I don't know if it was true or not. Like, the what was it, the KKK over there? I don't know. I don't
Yeah, it was
remember.
over there. Hagen done ran all that out of there. Like, it's about money. So when it comes down to money, if you fucking with my money, you're getting out of here. So those guys was fucking with his money. So money trumps a lot of shit.
Yep.
You get the hell out of here.
Yep.
But this guy, when he got up, and it's one guy, I respected him because he was man enough to expose how he was, not in a group.
Yep.
He came by himself.
Yep.
Now, he might have took a tough lesson with a couple right hands and left hooks.
Yep.
But he took his ass whipping by himself.
Why would he pick on the biggest black man he's probably ever seen in his life?
Because he was big.
Oh.
So in his
He was
eyes,
like your size, though?
no, he wasn't my size.
Yeah,
He was a
so-
penitentiary built.
Yeah.
But most, and I tell guys, this is for all you muscle pumps out here. Now, I ain't got nothing against you guys, but muscle pumps, you can be the fastest, get your ass whooped because the muscles take a lot of oxygen. So if you come out here thinking that I'm just big and buff and I'm finna whoop everybody's ass, where's the news check? You swing that big ass arm a couple times, you're gonna be breathing like you about to die. So these muscle pumps out here, they cocky, they do that. But I also got some buddies that's really muscle pumps. I call them that.
Yeah.
But a lot of muscle pumps get their ass whooped. Because they don't got a chin. Don't care how much weight you lift. It ain't going to make that chin any stronger.
Yep.
you know?
Yep.
So he's one of those dudes. He probably thought those muscles was going to get him over. And he ran into the wrong dude that night. But he was a racist guy. But afterwards, he shook my hand. That's what fighters do.
Yeah.
Like, if you're going to fight and you get your ass whooped, if you shake my hand, you say, hey, man, I was wrong. No matter how racist you was, because you know what? I'm not even going to be mad at you for you being racist because you was taught that shit, and that sucks that you was, but it really wasn't up to you.
Yeah.
Somebody taught you how to be racist. So I still shook his hand. And I don't have to live your life. I don't have to be around you, but I'm still going to show you that respect that you stood up like a man for what you believe in and what you was taught, and you went with it.
Yeah.
It didn't end in your favor, you know, but you went with it. And that's just how racism is. And when it comes down to Trump, I don't think he's racist. I just think he promote. I think
he
I
is.
think the racist people felt
Promoted
like
him, yeah.
they can show their racism because he's in office and the way he talks and the way he is.
Well,
you know?
if you just look at anybody who was of a different background or like a different ethnicity than
Yeah.
him, everybody who knew him would be like, this man is not racist, not even a little bit.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's the kind of people, you got to listen to the people that know people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, it's tough.
It's very tough.
Discernment is rough. Like, I'm trying to figure out how to teach my kids discernment,
Yeah.
you know, where it's just basically how to flesh out the right information from the bad.
Yeah.
And it's a hard one because it's a lot to do with your gut. It has to do with experience. It has to
Yeah.
do with so much that you can't just teach with words, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. But he's not no, I mean, but it's just how folks are. But look how the media blew that shit out of proportion. You know?
If
That's
people
just,
are dumb
but
enough
the-
to listen to the media anymore, then, I mean, that's on
people
them.
people are dumb anyway, Sarah, because people listen to what they hear.
Mm-hmm.
They don't do any research. You know, I can talk about the times where people would listen about, oh, Freddie, he's a big bad gangbanger.
Mm-hmm.
He's a killer. I never killed nothing in my damn life. A piece of chicken. Goddamn macaroni and cheese.
And you didn't even kill that chicken.
I didn't kill that chicken. I just killed it when it came to me. I got the meat part off of it. That's it. But actually, I have killed some chickens before. I'm from the country.
Yep.
Killed
Oh,
them and
yeah.
eat them. You know, and I taught my kids how to, kill chickens and eat them. You want to eat? Let's go real. But I never did none of that. But they listen to what they hear, until they get to know you. So once they get to know you and be around you, and this is the thing, and I'm pretty sure you've heard this too, you're not nothing like what I heard. And you're like,
Yep.
you just have to laugh at it like,
Yep.
no shit. Because this is something that I tell folks all the time when I'm sitting there speaking or having a speech. Like, a bad guy, a true bad guy or bad woman, they don't become good overnight. It takes a while if they really want to be good. So if you're a criminal, you just ain't going to turn to not a criminal overnight. It's going to take a while. It's a process. But if you got in trouble and you didn't do nothing wrong, you always been a good person, you don't have to do anything to change. You just got to change who you're around.
Yep.
So it becomes easy. It's easy for you. So I didn't become this way overnight. I've been this way. So when you're around me, and it's like you saying, well, damn, you really changed. I never was like that. So what the fuck you think I changed?
Yep.
I still talk shit.
Yep.
I still voice my opinion. I got a bad potty mouth at times. I'm still that dude. But I've always loved. And I've never treated no one like I didn't want to be treated.
Yep.
So that's the thing. When I hear that shit, I'm like, yeah, get out of here with that. I don't know how many times you heard it. I'm pretty sure you have.
Oh, yeah, because I tell people all the time, I'm like, treat people the same. Like, that's I tell my girls, like, treat everybody the same, treat them kind. I mean, that's how Sivu found me. Yeah. That's how I found you. Like, I mean, and if you look at us all, I want to get us all to get us in a picture because we are like the odd couple, right? So Sivu is this short, guy from Laos. Yeah. Okay, like I got to bend over to hug him. You're this big, huge black dude, and I'm this like square-looking white chick.
Look at this.
We're the odd couple. I love that shit though. I love the odd couple. I love, you know what I mean? When you see a tall chick with a short dude or just something that's out of the ordinary, you know, I'm just like, that looks like, I don't know what it speaks to me. I need to sit down and it's definitely confident. You know what I mean? Like, I just love it. I love the unexpected. You know what I mean?
We're supposed to be different, man. It attracts, you know, opposite, right? So, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. We all different. We all been through different shit. Well, just think about how much stuff I learned from you and watching your journey, you know. You watch my journey, and it's still going. There's so many things that we do. And look how much of a difference we do in the community. You know, you can't go on a block without seeing Blissful Blends or Black Sheep. You know, that's something that you created. You know, that's, you think about 20 years ago, how it used to be. It's like scary.
I know.
And then where you're at now. But then all the stuff that you learn. So once you become self-sufficient, you learn all of these ways of how to impose yourself into the community. You know, like, okay, well, this needs to happen. This needs to change. Think about your mind 20 years ago when you didn't have all of that in there. You didn't have all that knowledge and wisdom to really share it with anyone. You know, so you open up a business, then your mind open up. So now it becomes a sponge. So you abstract all of this different information from everybody. You know, all the things that you read, all the books that you read, all the people that you encounter, you know, you just go and go and go. So now when folks talk shit about you, because that's the only thing they can compete with your past. They only compete with your past. That's what I got. That's what I knew. When folks mention stuff from 07, I'm like, you only can compete with that. Because you can't compete with it now. Because I kept going. You stayed right there. You know? So it's just... It's like uplifting to think about where you come from and what it took for you to get here, and how much more you want to do, or you're going to do. You know, you're not going to be a waiter. You're not going to sit around and wait on an opportunity. You're going to go take it. So I love it. And look, we got cameras in the room. We're talking on this thing. We're having a good time. You kind of forget they was here, so I probably said some things that might need to get edited.
it's all in, Freddie.
I don't give a shit.
No, I don't give a shit either. I want to have these candid, conversations where we're just honest. Like, I'm fucking sick of everybody hiding, being censored, like whatever. I don't know if we're going to be able to put it on YouTube. We'll see. I mean, I don't know what kind of censorship or whatever, but we'll put it up somewhere.
What did we say was bad?
I don't know.
Oh, the alphabet thing.
Like, we could say whatever we want.
I know, but they real picky.
I don't care.
You know what? I like to. You know what? I would like to sit down and have a meeting with the leaders. And you know, why you call us the Applebats? To me, all the same. I don't give a shit what kind of sexual thing you do. It's all sexual, isn't it?
I don't think there's any leaders. I don't really.
There's got to be some type of leaders because they have stuck together and they made a lot of shit happen for that.
Yeah. Well, there's some great people. So I watch like Blair White, and she's trans. So she's the T in the LGBT Q. And I mean, so it just depends on, like, she doesn't, you know, believe in half the shit of, you know, pushing stuff on young kids. And it's just not everybody's in the group is the same. You know what I mean? There's like, I think that honestly the group itself is breaking apart because there's such extremists. You know what I mean? So there's extremists everywhere and just breaking everything apart, you know? So, I mean, we should go get something to eat.
Sounds good.
You want to? Okay. We'll come back and do this again. This was so much fun, Freddie.
We'll be talking about something else.
I'm going to have to be timestamping this because we had so much good conversation. So I'm going to go in there and like timestamp it.
Oh, we could talk forever, man. There's so much to talk about, man.
Okay.
I'm going to have to tell you guys about my experiences going to these different countries next time.